Oh, that was full volume. Sorry. Oh my God, everything is such a mess. I am just inundated with mess. I'm working on setting up to clean up though. I'm starting to organize all the bins that go in the far flung reaches of the shop in order to organize a newer list of projects. That seems a little loud on my end. Turn that down a little bit here. Yeah, that's like 75% of my volume or 25% of my volume. I'm a lot louder than the music. All right, what else? Lots of stuff going on. We have our 3D scan. So we have a 3D scan of my face, which is a rough approximation. You know, we're gonna get a rough approximation of the contours of my beautiful face, and then we can fit the safety glasses to it. I did not get the overlay. Maybe I should just put text down. Peak? No. This is going to be difficult to scale down. There's a lot of text. Oh my God. It's like a huge amount of text to fit. That's a little confusing with the start soon overlay right on top of it. I'm being too lavish with the text. I need to dumb it down. I love MATLAB, but I'm really starting to get sick of it. MATLAB is fun, although I've only ever dealt with MATLAB on a non-professional level at like college. It seems like it would be fun, but yeah, I would assume that it does get, like anything, it gets grating after too much exposure. Which one's scroll upwards? Right click. There we go. We finally did it. We ran the numbers, and this is what came up. Unequivocally. Well, except for the neck hair. I don't have that much neck hair. That's just the 3D scanner with the shenanigans. Oops, I don't know what that overlay is. What is that one? Oh, that's the scope. That's the scope. The one that I just clicked was... Which one? Huh. click on one that's locked. That way I can't change anything by misclicking the wrong screen. I love the morphing that can occur. There it is. There it is. Scientists finally did it. Let's see. We got YouTube. We need to get YouTube up. So at OhBotherVOD. And I need to pop this thing out. Got here before the early YouTubers. There we go. All right. So we're gonna foot spray the glasses, and then we'll try to marry these two together. It's not gonna look like this in what do you call it? It won't look like this in Fusion. Welcome to my dimension. There we go. It's a perfect recreation in every way. The nightmare's back. Mom, the nightmare's back. Call the cops. We're not gonna have textures on it, so I don't know about my prospects for finding this dimension right here where the glasses should seat, but we'll try. It's just weird and surreal. 3D bother can't hurt you. It's not a very good scan. I could probably put more effort into making it like come out better, but for what we need, we only need this here, which is the dimensions of the bridge of my nose. We need that, and we need my ear height in order to make the safety glasses fit. So that's all we need. Open a bottle of seltzer here. Oh God, lemon lime is like a hint of soap. Seltzer with a hint of soap. I need the fan angle today. We've turned off the AC because rain came along. Hard seltzer. No. You guys don't want that. The rain came along, everything cooled off a little bit, and now it's cool out, so we can actually have some outside air. What scanner did you use? CR Scan Ferret, the Creality 3D scanner. I bought it with my own money. I bought it myself, which I probably should have waited like a month because the creators program for Fusion 360 got a bunch of Creality scanners that they wanted to give to people. I could have got one for free, but this one was paid by my own money. My own damn money. Where'd my YouTube chat go? Where did that go? That's still up. We're going to be like using Fusion 360 and the Creality scan. Well, the Creality scan program, I think I'm going to drop this once the joke's over, as in when stream actually starts. This was scanned partially by my buddy and partially by me, holding up the scanner to the old models. So, Pro or SE. I think this is the SE. This is not the expensive one. I can't read small text anymore. That's kind of disturbing. Maybe do I need to like take my glasses back or something? CR Scan Ferret SE. This is the SE. And this is just me holding it up to myself. Julian kind of got some of the scan, but he didn't get a lot of the features that I wanted. So you can see that actually over here, the reason my collar is so messed up is because when I'm holding the scanner up to myself, my shoulders are raised. And when I'm just sitting there and somebody else is scanning me, my shoulders are dropped because I don't have to hold the scanner up. But it hates hair. It really does not like the slightly thinner hair of my beard. And then my hair, it didn't do a great job of. And then all of the processing kind of peeled apart the back of the model. I don't need the back of my head in order to fit safety glasses to myself. So. I'm having too much fun with the giant simulation, the giant 3D scan of my own face. It's bad. It's bad out there. Why do I get a notification? What now? Still not in the combos beta. Quit horsing around and sign up here. Fuck off, Twitch. Twitch always, they release these products, and I guess I'm glad they're doing them just because it's something to kind of shake things up and keeps them from like ruining the streaming experience that they already have. But they come out with these like products that they notify all the partners about, and it's usually something pretty frivolous. Sometimes it affects everybody unilaterally, but right now they're doing like a soft rollout of some kind of a thing that I don't really understand what it is. I don't really understand what it is. Combos beta. It's some kind of a combo thing that's gonna influence, give you guys a little incentive to do something, and I don't know what that's gonna be, but that stuff is for larger streamers and streamers who are less serious than we are. The Pro and the SE are both $299 right now. What? Why have the two different models then? What does Pro versus SE bring to the table? Does one have internal storage or something? Apparently you can use this with a phone app, so you could just plug this thing into your phone and do your 3D scanning. I have a handheld PC. I bought the Legion Go because I'm a sucker. I actually quite enjoy the Legion Go. I think it's kind of a neat little, undemanding game tablet. The controls are a little cheap though. But with the Legion Go, I could get the Linux version of the CR scan software and then use this portably. But I think they let you use your phone though. In which case, it's fully portable. As portable as my pancreas. Where is the electric screwdriver? There it is. I gotta start putting stuff away, because if I don't continually put stuff away, I end up with these mountains of garbage around me. And I've certainly got a mountain of garbage sitting over there on the brewing table. Looks like the same... Looks like it's just some good sale or deal on their website only at the moment. The Pro price is $429. Damn, I wish I had have waited. I bought the stupid one. This is fine though. This thing does its job just fine. It's not great, but it's good to get reference material into my CAD drawings when I'm 3D printing random stuff. So this is all in service of making these safety glasses fit me. These are for shooting at the range and for working with the big scary power tools. The power tools that fling stuff at you. These are ballistically rated, meaning it can protect you from a ricochet, which I think most safety glasses probably comply to, but are not specifically tested for. So my friend was absolutely 100% adamant that I had to have a pair of these things, and these happen to enable you to clip in prescription inserts, so I can actually see what I'm pointing at. So we're working on making this work with my gigantic nose. My nose is a little thick in some places, as you can see. And so typically I'll have to bend the glasses little feetsies out in order to fit me properly, in order to be at the right height. Because I went to the glasses place and I put these on and they were like up here. And the guy was like, well, they clearly look great on you. I'm like, all right, dude. All right, dude. You don't have to butter me up. If I put these in here without the nose insert, which defeats the entire purpose of getting these things, it fits pretty well, actually. It sits pretty nicely. It could use just a tiny little lift, which in our case means that it has to somehow avoid my nose completely and be almost singularly dimensional in order to fit in there. So we'll figure this out. We'll get to the bottom of this. But I really wanted to have, my mannequin head and my big dumb nose in the computer so that we can get all of our I's crossed and our D's dotted. Also, this dimension right here and the three-dimensional nature of these glasses means I want to scan these because I don't want to spend that much time reverse engineering all of the curves. So we're going to do that. And I have the utmost cursed thumbnail as the thumbnail for this, but I guess I can recreate it too just by going in here. We're going in. There it is. There it is. Oh, bother. Unwrapped. Uncensored. Unwrapped. Flayed. Laid out like a carpet. Yeah, if you're going to buy one of these things, get the $400 one right now. I guess there's a sale going on. I am not paid by them. I have not received 1 red cent to endorse Creality CR Scan. It has its foibles. It has its issues, right? It's not perfect. There's a reason why the professional ones are thousands of dollars. There's a reason why. But this one's okay enough that I can get enough of a scan that we can work with it. If you tweak your eyes a little, it just looks like you from the front, but it's super wide face. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, but then the eyes are 3D, so if you move it around, you get weird Oblivion slider effects. Disappointed Bother isn't real. He can't hurt you. Angry Cro-Magnon Bother can't hurt you. Squished Bother isn't real. He can't hurt you. Actually, this just looks like we're looking at me from a lower angle, and I've got gorgeous, brilliant hair. The hair goes off into infinity. I love this angle. What you see, what she sees. This is a good analog of how the world map is layer flat. Miguel Oz! Warrod worse avoided. Oh, raw bother. Army clones coming by the end of the year. Wow, that's a sentence. Hold on, let's try that again. That's a 63-month sub. A world war avoided. Oh, robother. Oh, robotic other. Army clones coming by the end of the year. Yeah, if only. Yeah, this is the Megamind, oh bother, right now. It is finally the computer simulation of the hottest dude by like a huge margin. Like a huge margin. I am everything. It's such a weird morph. Look at that. Yoink. It's weird because it kind of like the texturing kind of fools you into seeing beyond the errors in the model. Something about what I'm looking at here. Do you think they've really done it, chat? Do you think the scientists were right? It's so stupid. It's so stupid. I love it. What is music doing? I can barely hear it. Small, judgmental, oh bother. From the front. We can do karaoke with this. Or karaoke, if you're into pronouncing things the way that they're written. Karaoke. We added a whole bunch to that word. But that's how we know how to say it. So we say it like that. One of the things, I think I already went through this explanation, but it just popped back into my head. This thing here, this word, hold on. Maps, Google. We can zoom in on voice AI, no thank you. I don't like AI, and I don't want to use it for anything, and I don't care if that leaves me behind. Don't care. Why are you freezing? Oh, jeez. Okay. So, can you guys pronounce this? There's a word for these types of things where it's like the local pronunciation of something that people would get wrong. The text resizes when I zoom in and out, but it's SCHUYIKILL river. It's simpler to pronounce than you think, but if you're ever in the area and somebody wants to test you, some little assholes trying to test you on whether or not you're a local, it's pronounced Schuylkill. 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 Like school skull, but without the intermediary parts. Schuylkill. Schuylkill. But it's got a lot of letters in the name. Schuylkill. Schuylkill. Schuylkill is how you want to say it, but it's Schuylkill. Oops, all silent. Yeah, silence, and then the, I don't know, the injection of like the Delco accent, where it's just like your mouth being lazy. That's kind of how I feel about the Delco accent. I can't do a Delco accent. It's not funny. I got school to go to. I can't do a Delco accent. I'm not even going to try. It's the Delco accent is a very particular one. There's like a TV show that made it like popular because it took place in that area of my state. I've tried in the past to do it. Yeah, it's just I can't. Some of the sounds. It's sort of like the different like British versus New Zealand versus Australian stuff, and they all handle their O's differently. And depending on the number of O's, you can pinpoint it down to like the neighborhood. How they say no, if there's an at the end, or if it's just a series of O's infinitely stretching forward. The Schuylkill, the Delco accent utilizes that sort of thing, and I don't know how to make my mouth make those noises. I could make a VTuber that's just me, but slightly more animated. Prance in a boot. I don't know how to reconcile. So there's this thing in CAD programs and in graphics and stuff where if you're prancing about your model, you introduce a twist into it because of the way that it returns back to the axis again. And so if you continue to go in the circles like this, you will continue to twist that axis and you end up with the Dutch angle stuff that we've got going on right now. Fusion gets around this by doing like orbital views, but it can still be subject to that sort of thing. They kind of orbit around the object instead of having this sort of X and Y control. It happens in Kerbal Space Program too. And it actually seems kind of hard to reconcile here. I'm not having good luck fixing it. Hold down Control and try to move. That just does that. Yeah, that locks down that axis. How about Alt? Same thing, Shift, same thing, Control Shift. Well, anytime I hit Control, it just, how about Alt Shift? That doesn't do it. Wait, what the? Why did it? My computer just shut down the Chrome window, didn't it? Just ordered the Pro. I've been looking forward to scanning for quite some time. It's finally cheap enough to take the leap. That's cool. That's very cool. Yeah. I bought this as like a birthday present to myself, and it was a great expense for the show, believe me. But the amount of 3D stuff that we do here, like the amount of 3D printing and modeling and stuff that we do, means that inevitably this thing is going to come up. And it's come up in one of the most cursed ways it possibly could in a project that actually does have my best interest in mind. You know, it's making these goggles fit is something that the company isn't attempting to do. They have different bridge pieces with the glasses insert on it, but actually I don't think they do. I think they only have the one. I've looked through the catalog of accessories, and they don't have one for big nose people. They don't have one for people with big nose. They have, I think, a version that puts it a little, the glasses a little closer to, and they have ones that pull the safety glasses away from your face so your eyelashes don't touch. But neither of those are a consideration. I have to be able to fit into these things and have them still work if I get smacked in the face with something, and have my glasses in there as well, the glasses inserts. So we don't cater to liars. You know. I like my projects to have a purpose, not just can I do gross things. But the curvature of the glass is going to be crucial because I have to match it. See that right there? That's that little curvature. But they didn't have the curvature to this part, which is a little odd to me. I think maybe it's why these are a little bit loose. They went a little, they cheapened up a little bit on their engineering. We could maybe fix that. but it's gotta, see, that matches the curve of the glasses, so we gotta make that match. And this thing is fully symmetrical down the seams, so we only have to do it on one side. I got a 3D scanner, so we might as well just scan the glasses themselves, which means getting foot spray all over these things. I could take pieces of tape and like masking tape and put masking tape over the front, but if we have foot spray, I'm gonna use foot spray. Let me go get the foot spray. The foot spa. That's a little washed out. Why is that washed out? I gotta turn my light. There we go. Yep. I don't know what further uses we may have with this Creality scanner. I hope we got some good stuff in the waiting. I'll figure stuff out, I guess. Foot spray. This is the weird part of the stream. It's not necessarily foot spray. They don't say foot anywhere on the bottle. I've yet to see it specifically noting feet, but I guess it is used with feet. What this will do is provide a matte surface, and then we need to stand it up on something. I don't know, or maybe I need to hang the glasses on something. I could maybe get a little piece of metal, like a paper clip or something, and hang this from the camera stand. I think maybe that's the direction this will go in. Oh, I'm gonna toss these wrenches back in. Sorry about the noise. I think the compressor got that, but yeah, this suffers from Blender camera, where Blender, you have the distance that you are to the actual point that it's looking at. Right now it's looking at a point that's behind me. So if I drag it this way, I think I'm now to the right a little bit, and I can just kind of try to get it back into position in the center of my head. See, now I'm starting to orbit this a little better. What's up, Griffey? It's me. I am everything. It's so cursed. Making your avatar for Rob Oz's game. It's too high quality for that. The picture that I set as the thumbnail for this video, he could take and put in his game if he really wants to. I know Oatmeal Man was really excited about this, and I'm like, do whatever you want. Put me on a toilet seat. I don't care. But the amount of cursed stuff, like I could use this texture to put on my luggage, and people would be like, what the hell? But nobody would mistake. You have my luggage. Oh my God. What is this text below me? What am I reading? I am everything. Oh my God. I love how messed up this is. That'd be funny if you put you in there somewhere. That would be neat, but it's also his game. He can do whatever the hell he wants. This thing, chat's frozen. I'm talking to chat right now. If you guys didn't know. I need to go to my framed overlay. Where's that? Frame chat. There. Release the cache. Go. That fixes chat. Yeah. It's stupid. What Chrome does is Chrome takes up as much computer memory as possible, as is available, in order to work quickly, right? Because people are very impatient and they want instant results. And the internet. I mean, I suffer from this too. I go on Firefox and I click something and I'm like, why did it instantly try to open up? It delays, and so I click it like 5 times. Chrome gets around that by eating all of your RAM. And it uses it appropriately because you're not using that RAM, so why not, right? Why not just use up as much RAM as it can take? But then in situations like I have, where I'm running a pretty comprehensive, 3D graphics program. I have 1,000 windows open. Some of them are covered up, some of them are not. They're doing background jobs that are important, but Chrome deems them not important. And so it parks those pages so it doesn't have to use up RAM. And when it does that, my OBS chat overlay freezes, and I'm left in the lurch. Where's my regular chat overlay? There it is. Drum and the boss is the last comment in there. I'm gonna hit reload on that. Maybe that one will work. I've got no issues with RAM, my 20-year-old CPU, however, yeah. I am considering if I want to upgrade. This is like a 6-year-old PC. Little bit more than that, I think. It's getting up there, and so it's starting to show its weakness as we get more and more into things like, computer modeling and stuff. It's okay for now, but I feel like I'm one of those use cases where you need more RAM. There we go. I love how stupid having a computer model of your face is. You can tell when I'm having something track my mouse because it lags like shit. Oh God. How much stuff does mouse tracking? That's scary. I hate the world that we're living now. I really do. I had it pounded into me from a very young age that you should not submit to giving your data or tracking your information to anything. And nowadays we just let these apps do whatever the hell they want with all of our personal information and data. It's mad. It's mad. I can't believe that we're looking downwards at it and it looks like it's a lower, the angle looks like it's from here, but it's actually from here, but it's on the opposite side. I got tired of Chrome stealing all of my RAM, so I just maxed it out to 128 gigs. I have 16 on this computer, and I don't think I'd be able to find memory for a reasonable price because of the age of the computer. There's that like dip in price for tech stuff, and then it shoots way up because it becomes like a mission critical computer needs a part, and they're hard to find because everybody's moved on, and so the price skyrockets. That's, I think, where the hardware for this computer has gone. And I ran into that the last time I had a memory error on this computer. The memory just went and then crapped out, and so I had to go buy new memory, and the new memory would have been the cost of upgrading the motherboard and memory. So it's crazy out there. It's a mad world. Have I thanked everybody appropriately? I think I have. 17 minutes ago. We are going to work on a little bit of 3D scanning, and hopefully that'll lead us into 3D modeling fairly quickly. I wish I could have this just like orbit around. Those dead eyes. Get a load of this guy. I can't get my axes to correct themselves. This is ridiculous. This is what Blender does. But you get like a little tree where you can, oh, there's a reset view. That didn't do anything. I'm still at a Dutch angle. So that angle, but I can recreate it by looking like this. That's trippy. That's really weird. We're looking at the upper, we're looking down from above, but we're on the concave side, and it looks like it's looking up from below on the convex side. Weird. Definitely weird. All thanks to this stupid thing. How's my nose hair situation? We got any nose hair? Well, it's hard to tell where it misinterpreted my beard. The world's hottest man. There he is. I should make this talk. Booger. I see boogers. My giant nose pores. Why are the pores on my nose so big? Every now and then I do that Elmer's glue thing on my nose, and it comes up with like just the most textured surface. You're not really supposed to do that nose thing though. You know the thing they do in like spas and stuff where they put an adhesive over your nose and then pull out all of like the quote unquote clogged pores? You're not really supposed to be doing that. It's actually kind of bad for you and it could get infected. But people still do it. I don't like how scraggly my side hair comes in, and I'm always on the verge of shaving that in lieu of just keeping the thicker hair. But I guess I've persisted with it for some time now. It might be a better look if I shave off all of this sort of no man's land where the beard is fairly thin. I don't know. People like it. I don't. Other people like it. I don't. And then this doesn't properly represent the actual beard that I have because 3D scanners are a series of dots, and a series of dots does not land evenly on something like a beard. It was good enough to get a little bit of this stuff. It would have been nice if I could use the 3D scanner in order to map out how I should be trimming my beard. Since I only have my own perspective on it, I don't really see what's going on under here. I just kind of dead reckon it with a pair of scissors. So this could have answered my lifelong question. And you can see here that I have a very strong jaw. In fact, it's got a giant cut in it. That is not where my skin is. It's not what I look like. So 3D scanning is not a magic technology. It has its limitations. But it's pretty good for comedy. I am wide bother. I am all that you can see and know. So Julian was a little bit disappointed yesterday. I didn't have everything set up for him to play music. We'll get there though. I mean, I've been doing a massive cleanup of the shop. Now Bother's trying to clone himself. I will 3D print clones of myself. I'm going to clean up around here a little bit, and I need to get the Focusrite over to the other table, which means my studio monitor, the actual speakers are going to have to be powered off of something else. And I think they'll come from my mixer, and that way I'll have my monitor audio for everything again, just for the computer audio, so I know what's on that one channel, which probably means I'll have to do some special routing of audio. But I think I can do that in the mixer. That mixer should be able to do everything I need it to do because it allows for channels to specifically look at specific inputs. So if you have separate monitors that you want, like you want to cut somebody's voice out of the voice chat, you could do that. I think it'll be okay. Yeah, this is not a complete scan. It doesn't really show off the CR Scan Ferret's abilities completely. It is enough to freak people out with some weird looking shit like this. Some real creepy looking stuff, and then it's enough that I can model the safety goggles that I want to use. I look very shiny in this one. It's very shiny and sweaty. I don't think I'm typically that shiny and sweaty. Am I that shiny and sweaty? I might be. It's more animation than you ever get from me. How much mix do we have? We'll start in just a minute here. This is a long mix. How long is this? Only an hour? Huh. I guess we've been kind of champing at the bit to get running on this project. How's my viewers? We're getting there. Got a couple people watching. How long have I been live? 40 minutes, holy crap. All right, I'm just trying to get myself mentally into the swing of things here. Feeling like actually doing work and getting this project to a point where I can call it done, because it's sort of a side thing that we're not even supposed to be doing. It's gonna require me to clean out the, what do you call it? The ultraviolet printer so that I can get an accurate and smooth model. I don't think we need anything stronger than the UV stuff. The UV stuff is not incredibly strong. It's kind of easy to like just break, but I think it'll stand up to being like a one part of many on the glasses, and we'll get a more accurate print out of it soon. Yeah, you know, I do long intros. I like to kind of ease myself into the pain of streaming. You guys take a lot out of me, and I'm not mentally prepared for it. It's fine. All right, should we get to scanning stuff? We should scan stuff. Let's get me out of here. Yoink. This song seems to be building very slowly to something, so I'll cut it off ahead of time. Yoink. And pause. You're gonna put your nice wheels on the car? My summers have been on my car for 2 seasons, 3 seasons, just because I haven't bothered to go get them. They're above the garage door, which for some reason my roommates complained about. They say, when are you gonna get rid of those wheels? And I'm like, they're not in anyone's way at all. We got those tire rack tire hangers. We put them above the garage doors. To get them down from the garage doors, I bought a winch. I would like to install that between the 2 garage doors and power it off of the DeWalt batteries. We need to put that to the test to see if I can actually get away with that. And then the cable can go up to a block and then have a second block that sits in front of the wheels so that I can go up there on the rickety ladder, tie up a wheel to a thing, and then lower it. They're above a garage door height, which is kind of annoying to handle heavy tires that way. You know, I think they're 15 or 16-inch wheels, but they're BBSs, which BBS are so expensive. They're so heavy, but they're so pretty. So those are wheels that you can just run over Jersey barrier with, and they'll be fine. But they are up high, and our ladder is ridiculously dangerous. It's a 1980s ladder that's made out of wood, and it moves all over the place. So you need to get my dad a new ladder. Mine are at shoulder height. Yeah, this is well above the height, but you know, I will eventually need to change them. They're winters, so I will eventually need to change it, if not just to keep the wear cycle from getting too far ahead of me. I'm probably going to need new summers soon, and nobody understands. Nobody seems to get it. Groovy gets it. I don't know how many of you guys in here get it, but like, it's actually cheaper to run 2 sets of tires because you get rubber that's more specialized for the application. I call them snows, but they are winter tires. So in the winter months, when it's colder, they actually wear less and they grip better because they're softer in low temperatures. And so you get things that can hold on to the road better. Tires are your only interface to the road, right? They are what touches the road. They are what influences your car and what direction it moves, how fast it's moving, and whether or not it moves against its will. So tires are so important. They're so important to get good tires. Get good tires. Do not get all, I mean, fine, if you got to get all seasons, but like, the cheapest option is really bad, really, really bad. Your car can be excellent and it'll just slide. So for my summers, I have brutally awesome summers. They remain soft at higher temperatures, but they don't get overly soft. And so they continue to steer your car in the right direction. Yeah. Here they are called MS, mud snow. Interesting. Mud and snow. That sounds like winter around here well enough. UK is too mild for seasonal tires? I don't know. I mean, UK stays pretty cool, doesn't it? You guys are getting more spicy summers though lately, but yeah, maybe so. What's up, Lawn Dog? Don't let those wheels get effed. But I drive so little these days. It's pretty much just going to the supermarket, like up the street and back. So I don't know if I need the full, 2 sets of wheels. I got them though. And my wheels have a reasonable amount of tread on them, I think. They always tell you need new ones, but you need new tires. You need new tires. Okay, get that out of here. So, what are we doing? Well, mine got messed up that can happen from the sun. Well, mine are the ones that I've been using bridging over years now is the summers. So I guess they're less susceptible to that. I don't know. Winters during the summer are a curse. Last time on Oh Bother, we were able to 3D scan my head. Look at that. There he is. It is our computer simulation of the hottest dude ever. With literally, I mean, the data backs it up. It is the hottest dude ever to live. And it is computer simulated. So obviously, the data is backing this. This is what the computer spat out. I mean, I gave it all the parameters, and you can see here the simulation model went together layer by layer, and it eventually spat out the hottest guy in existence. It's just, that's what it is. Not in existence, it's a simulation of what the hottest guy would look like were there a hottest guy in existence. So we got that. The second part of the actual project is to get these 3D scanned. I'm too lazy to reverse engineer what all of the curves are on these safety goggles. I got these safety goggles specifically because I went shooting a friend of mine, and aside from slinging lead all over the place, I had these kind of crappy safety glasses, and the target was a blur. And I figure, I use power tools enough that I should get a slightly more serious safety glass. So these are what are called crossbows. They were like 50, 60 bucks. The expensive part about them is getting a prescription insert. And so they've got this insert. I don't have it on hand at the moment, but they've got an insert that clicks in, and it is whatever your prescription is, right? So I can finally see stuff that's far away. That was part of the push also to get a new pair of glasses. I'm a little concerned about the glasses and maybe the way the optometrist put everything together, because where I could hold stuff up to my face at this distance, in the past, I could see text perfectly fine at this distance. Now it has to be just an inch further out. So I don't know if that's an error on their part, or if they're trying to sell me progressives or bifocals. I don't need bifocals because I'm nearsighted. I can see stuff from about here, which gives me enough of a small perspective. I don't know. Maybe I messed up. Somebody can steer me clear on that one. But anyway, I got my glasses redid, and I got the inserts for this thing redid. Glasses are typically sort of engineered for people with smaller noses. I have to push these little feet way out because of my ancestry, I guess. I don't know. I've got a giant Dutch nose. So when it came to actually fitting these glasses in the configuration that they were, let me just put them together to show you guys how stupid this is. In the configuration that they were, with all the distances the way they are, and all of the various elements coming together, we can see these were glued on. I don't know about that. The engineering on these things is lacking in some areas. I think these were the guys from Oakley making a sort of a wraparound sunglass. How much is laser? I don't want to fix my eyes like that. I don't want to risk complications and stuff. So they fit me like this, which is comical. This is stupid. This is maybe not how they're supposed to fit. Sitting about a quarter of a mile off of the top of my head. So what I want to do, and again, when I get these out of here, when I get the bridge elements off of this thing, and I just put them on without the nose bridge, they actually fit somewhat. I mean, we're going to have to see about how they fit, but I can actually, wear them like I'm a normal human being. These are a little bit low. It probably should sit something like that, right? Just a little bit above where it was. So I need to re-engineer the bridge piece because they don't sell a giant schnozzolator bridge piece. I've got some of the design in CAD, right? Got some of the design in CAD. Now I could, I could spend the time to redesign the bridge piece. I could go get laser eye surgery, or I could go to LA and have my nose altered. I'm not going to do any of that crap. We can just do some 3D scanning here because I have the 3D scanner and roll from there. Oh, this is the frameless one. Wait. All right, now chat's a little less giant. So I actually found an error in how they design these. Look at this. So this right here is curved, and that is to match the curve of the actual lenses, because this just clips into the lens. So there's this curve here for the curvature of the lens, but there's no curve on the other side. And what that actually does is when you snap these things in, and maybe it's not curved in order to enable the snapping in, but it fits very snugly to the front of the safety glasses. There's a very little gap there. See, that fits really nicely. But because the thing behind it is not curved, there's a little bit of a rattle. Just a little. Maybe that's something we could correct. Or, I don't know, maybe that would take too many iterations to correct. But it does look like there's just a little bit of a rattle there because they didn't curve the other side. Let me catch up with messages here. I'm trying to do my intro. Trying to do my intro right now. Previous pair of glasses were so scratched up and extremely old, had no idea that apparently modern lenses do not do well in sunlight. Huh. Like desert sunlight? Well, because they're plastic, right? Being in the desert, you get both a hot environment and lots of sunlight. It degrades. Yeah. And also, you know, your prescription's going to like change over time. So you should get it. I don't know how often you're supposed to get it evaluated, but Incredimike. Hey, what's up, Incredimike? Hello, oh bother, and chat. Which oh bother are you talking about? Because there's multiple. Which one, huh? Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? There's multiple bothers here. Multiple. How's it going? So we've got the 3D scan of my face, right? We've got the 3D scan of the bother face. Oh, look at that little piece of the glasses. Because I went to rescan my face and I forgot that I was wearing glasses. So some of these are tainted by slight pieces of glasses in the textures. So we got the bother scan, which means that we've got the dimensions of my nose, my weirdly shaped nose, and we've got my ear height. So we should be able to, given a 3D model of the safety glasses, we should be able to kind of inchworm our way into having the right stuff, you know, the right information to put together a new bridge piece. And so that I can still clip the prescription inserts into them and all that stuff. So what I want to do is the path of least resistance, which is to scan the glasses themselves. Now, typically, there's some cursed stuff that comes about from having a 3D scan of your entire face, which is when you flip the script and you look at the other side, you can have the omnipresent bother texture and make them look weird. It looks like I have a giant brain. Anyways, point is, that's part of the information. We got to get the other part of the information. So we're back to 3D scanning, and this time what I'm going to do is actually get the foot spray involved because we've got a giant clear lens. I don't want to spend money to buy another lens. I'm not an actual R&D department. I can't just frivolously buy sacrificial hardware. I would like to scan these glasses, and I guess probably the best way, I think if we just put them like this on the piece of the black plastic sheets that I have, I think maybe if we just do that, we might be able to get a good scan of it. It should, like, upside down would probably be the best, or if I hung one of these things from, like, for instance, the camera stand, and we get it loaded up with the foot spray so that it's nice and matte, M-A-T-T-E. Let's see what we can do here. So I guess first things first, I'm just going to spray over top of all this nonsense here because there's a lot of nasty stuff in this area. I think the chalk spray's biggest limitation, the chalk spray makes a nice, like, opaque surface. The problem being this stage where you've got all of this overspray and it's just coming off in sheets. So I've got to figure out what to do with this stuff. I think it might just go to the bottom of a garbage thing. fairly quickly. If you are spraying the chalk spray, I mean, if you do it outside, that would be good. It's raining right now, so that's not a great solution. And then it flakes off. So if you come into contact with the chalk spray, it'll just fall off. So I made a website for a company that did 3D scanning once. I visited their shop and they did a full body scan of me and my roommate, which was pretty cool. You could do like cosplay armor with that. It sized the shoulder pads to your actual shoulders. Pretty cool. The scanning yourself has one big limitation in it that I was unaware of until I actually started doing it, which is that when you're scanning yourself, you're holding up a camera. And so your shoulder is up, not down, which is kind of a weird thing. It's just, you know, body kinematics, but as I was scanning myself, my shoulder is moving all around, so I didn't get a good scan of my shoulders. It's actually lifted from where it was. So I'm a mess today. Look at me. I look terrible. It's because it's like raining out and it's been hot this week. It's been an awful week. So yeah, we're gonna foot spray this. The foot spray sticks a little better. I can see some issue with the foot spray though. I'm gonna have to take these apart completely and wash them out. They are all plastic though, and the lenses do come off of the frames. Spend all this money and it's just this elaborate piece of plastic. I feel kind of dumb for doing it, but hey, if one single round ricochets off of whatever I'm aiming at and comes back into my face, they will have paid for themselves. They're a little expensive for what they are. Which is everything that my friend recommends to me. My buddy is very much like made in America and all that stuff. And he recommends things like these glasses to me. They're good. They're just a piece of plastic though. I don't know. They said cosplayers come in often and get scanned all dressed up. That's cool. Oh, dressed up in their cosplay. That's an interesting one. I wonder if you could turn it into your own VTuber model. I don't know about downscaling all the, you know, the realism of the scan and stuff. I need like a piece of wire. Why don't we use a thick piece of wire? Let's use one of these. A little twist tie. So I'll just get a piece of twist tie. I'll just put it through the hole and then we will hold this thing up and then we will scan it also in a vertical orientation. And then we'll just have one little aberration sticking out of it that we can probably delete on our own. Look at it. It's perfect. Got a rotating GIF of us in the scan. This is, I think the best part about the scan is the cursed stuff you can do. This is the cursed stuff that you can do with the scan. The unwrapped textures are a little bit much. It wouldn't really, it might translate into a game engine, but this is probably the best way to do like, get your normal map face into a game. I would love it if Rabaz would use mine, but I don't think that he will. I don't think he'll use it. This just in. All right. So, let's spray our feet all over this thing and then let's see if we can scan it into a model here. I'm going to go mod you into Doom. Yeah, bother.wad. Actually, Copper put me into Minecraft as a cube. Unsettling because he took the picture like at night and there was lava everywhere, so it was kind of like a waking nightmare of bother cubes. But you know what? Do whatever you want with it. It's in the Discord. It's in the stream projects section of the Discord. Looks like you fell off a building on your back. Here lies O Bother. His beard fell off and he died. And then he fell off a building. And then they peeled his skin and laid it out. What's weird about the scan is that this is not a view from below. This is a view from above, but behind my features. And it looks like it's a view from straight below. Looks like your beard grew inside. See, look at that. This is the view from below. Looks like that. But this is the view from above. And it looks like the same thing. It's really weird. All right, let's stop it with a cursed face. We'll pull the triangles, the mesh of this thing into Fusion, and that'll give us just a reference. Same thing with this piece here. We're not going to be engineering directly off of it. We will be using it as a sort of loose reference. The CR scan resolution is a lot to be desired, but its ability to map things in the scale that they are is where we're, you know, sort of taking advantage of it. I almost spilled my seltzer everywhere. So we are doing a new closed current project. Yes. New scan. We have Julian in here too. New project, and this would be glasses. Glassers. Okay. So this would be a normal object. It is not a face or a body. The size is small. Feature, we're going to go with geometry. I'm not putting markers on these. High accuracy, we'd have to choose high quality. And then disable the flat base. I'm choosing yes. I don't know if it'll even detect a flat base. And then I'm going to wait to hit scan because we have to hit it with the foot powder. Yeah, weirdly enough, it has kind of an inverse relationship on how you view it. And I guess it's probably helped by the fact that we've got a perspective and it's a flat perspective, being that we are, going over a computer monitor. We don't get depth perception on the image. I don't know if there's like a mathematical concept behind that, if that's like just something that people that do 3D stuff know, but it's very strange to me. It's kind of a weird relationship. And it's not exact. It's not exact. It doesn't look like exactly the same thing. All right, we go from this camera. I don't know if I can put this camera into perspective where you guys can see what's going on, because I've got to get the twist tie up on the arm is the best thing that I have for hanging something. I got to tighten it up a little bit though. And then we got to spray powder all over it. It's going to be the weird part. Maybe just the glasses part. This one will have the view of the actual thing hanging out. The shop sometimes is way too busy for its own good. I have stuff everywhere. And so if we want something that has if we want to focus in on one singular object, it's tough to do in here. I can have these hanging here, but in the visual noise of all the stuff that I have surrounding me, they vanish. You can't really see what I'm actually doing. Can't win it all, but you can get foot powder. Powder your feet. Let's try not to get it everywhere. Why no spray? Is this the dead one? Did I throw out the good one and I just have the dead one now? Oh, this is the dead one that should have been in the garbage. Put that there. This is the good one. I ordered one online and the little feed tube that goes into this thing dropped out. So this one should be spraying. Yep, there it goes. Okay. This feels wrong. Smells like Al Bundy in here. All right, that should do. We got a little bit of overspray. The fan took up most of it and threw it into my camera equipment. I think that's dust. Didn't get on the lens. Okay. The air tastes kind of weird in here. Spraying stuff sucks. All right, now I think we should be able to at least get a decent scan off of it. It's kind of made the lenses matte so that the little infrared dots will actually propagate onto the object and give us an idea of what it looks like. Now this thing keeps moving. I would like to kind of keep it from moving, which means moving the fan, I think. I think that it's just blowing in the fan, which will give the 3D scanner a bit of a tough time. The other thing I could do is try to anchor it on another twist tie, but maybe if I just move that. Stop moving. Stop it. Stop moving. Stop moving. This is going to be a huge pain in the butt to get in the right position. Hopefully, you can see there's a little bit of movement there. Hopefully we can get a good scan going of this thing. So let's give it a go. Scan. Oh, this is twisted. Hold on. Yoink. Got it before it initialized. Too close. A little bit further away. It's going to be janky, but I think we should be able to get most angles on it. Yeah, I think we'll do okay. So let's start. Oh, hold on. Come on back to me. There we go. Try and get up and over here. What are all those points in the bridge that are like red? That doesn't look good. That's kind of one of the features that we're trying to accurately represent here. Insufficient. Okay, I'm trying to do the wraparound, but they're gonna kind of fade out of existence here in a second. Okay, come on back to me. I wonder if I should do them from below, like starting out from below, because this is getting the inside face, but it's also misrepresenting a lot of parts. All right, I guess, okay, wait a minute. If I could get you to continue to track as I move around. This is what I need a robot arm for. To move in a predictable way so that the scan can come through properly. Without all these aberrations. Come on, you can do it. Oh, I see, the distance jumped. Come on, man. You can do this. Maybe I should sit them down on the table and do a scan that way. It lost it. Oh, I see, because I'm too close. There we go. Starting to get the front. Curses. Curses. This ain't easy. I mean, all right, so let's take a look at the model and see if I messed it up or not. I think that oh, we can I still get data from over here? Let me get this end. Yeah, there we go. Oh my God, it's screwing up majorly. All right, I gotta stop it. Some bad stuff was happening there. I don't know what that was all about. We'll just complete the scan and see if we got enough data. I don't think we did, though. What the? It just crashed. I've had the program open for one day, and it just crashed on me. Okay. CR scan, Creality scan. Let's try again. I'm sweating now. I think maybe I want to try putting it on a flat surface. USB disconnection issue. I'm not having that issue. Close this window. Oh, it's still retained everything. Oh, that is terrible. Nope, this is not a good scan. All right, so I mean, this would probably allow me to reconstruct that shape and maybe get the curvature of the glasses correct. But I think we can get a better scan than this. So let's destroy this one. I don't want this anymore. What do I do here? Oh wait, that's gonna insert it into the other one. Wait a minute. Exit the scan. Delete this one. Create a new one. All right, so this is going to require a little bit of setup. God, this powder smells. Small geometry, normal, yes. Okay, and disable flat base is going to be our savior here. So what I'll do is I will get a big sheet. I will take a big sheet of plastic. So this is stuff that I bought a while back. I forget what it was for. I think it was mostly for covering stuff up. Just a big piece of black plastic. Make sure it's clean. And this will effectively register as a flat base and be ignored by the CR scan, hopefully. So plomp that down. Plomp the glasses on top of it. Just make sure I don't scan my fingerprint by accident so that you guys can like rob banks as me. And these will just go down like this. And hopefully with the right, lighting shouldn't matter, but hopefully with the right circumstances, I'll be able to get a good scan of these and get all the geometries out of it. So I'll start in the front and move my way around and hopefully get all the way around this thing. Is that the stool base that's showing through via heat? What the heck? Like, is my hand visible underneath this stuff? No, this is something else. It's from, weird, it's so weird. Okay, so like that. And then we'll try scanning it. I need to make sure that I can get all the way around it. So let's move this light out. This in. I need to make sure that I can get all the way around the thing to get all the different geometries. You guys can't see what I'm doing. You could see it on that camera. And then I guess if I do this, frame, spring arm, there we go. Now you guys can see what's going on over here. Of course, I need to pack that in a little bit. Should be over chat. Not a lot of light over here, but I think we're using the light of infrared. Did I not hit scan? Didn't? Oh, I clicked on OBS and not the... Dumb. It's tough to figure out how far away you're supposed to be from the thing. And this is, it's like in love with that, so I think it's an okay distance. Let's give it a shot. Why is it getting all crazy on me? Look at what it scanned. It's like messed up. Hold on, pause. Why does it do that? All right, it's having trouble because this is a very small object. See what it did? It's like... Clear, yes. Okay, so I mean, it is looking for the flat base. So if I can give it the right distance and get this out of the way. If I put markers on the flat base, I wonder what would happen. It's like when I click scan, I'll move my body a little bit, and then that kills it. What are you going to line up to, scanner? Oh, have you frozen? Jesus Christ. It's like trying very hard to reconcile what the position is. Oh boy. This is a little tougher than I thought. I'm going to give it a second here, let it close down. Let's close that. What do I have a notification? Oh, it's on somebody else's stream. All right. Try this again. I'm going to move the fan because I am actually overheating. I'm overheating, not the scanner. Scanner's having a lot of trouble with these. A lot of trouble with these. Hopefully we can sort it out. It seems like the texturing from the foot spray is doing just fine in terms of like having a target to bounce off of, because we got some okay geometry on that. But it's having trouble with the size of the object and keeping that in line. Maybe we can look up some advice, because I'm going into this blind. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm not an expert in scanning stuff. The project already exists. Well, it's not on the list. 2 S's. Small. Normal. Geometry. Texture, I don't think so. The 6mm diameter of markers is recommended. Medium and small 3. Please use non-reflective markers. So can I put markers on the flat base that it has to ignore? That would be interesting. Boy, nobody's around this Friday, huh? I don't have anybody in chat. That's all right. I have work to do. I can concentrate on my work. Scan. So I'm doing it with an upside down this time. This thing really needs like a target laser so I can get all my distances correct. Upside down is going to be too confusing. I'm just going to get the tripod off of it so that I can actually get it all the way down. Stupid Friday. Yeah, I'm lurking. Yeah, oh, I love you lurkers. Don't worry. Nobody should feel, when I bitch about not having people watching, that's like a huge faux pas and everybody should leave. I should have a chat of one person for complaining. What's going on with the blue in the IR camera? Why did it all become blue suddenly? See that? It suddenly just becomes blue. I don't know what that is. So it wants to be pretty much like that. Could I, instead of moving the camera, move the glasses? Please adjust the IR exposure. I'm not allowed to. Oh, if I turn it to manual? Ugh. I don't think manually doing it is going to do me anything. Change it to auto. Oh, you can, huh. So if I was holding it upside down by the tripod, I could have done that. Now, how's it having so much trouble with this? See, there's its window. If I could somehow move that, I don't have like a, actually, we do have the spinning base. We do have the spinning base, but I don't know if that's going to do the right stuff. Let's try. We might as well. We're here to try. We're here to try stuff. So I'm going to move this, and I'm going to take the spinning base over here, which is meant for machining. Jeez. Bring this in. So this is a machining turntable that we've hooked up to a very sort of stupid belt, and I made a little tensioner for it. This is a long time ago that we did this, but actually no, it was fairly recently that we upgraded it. It could have a slightly better flat base, but I think maybe we could get this thing spinning and actually get a good scan rather. Let me see if I've got like a board or something to put on it. And have I been missing YouTube comments, or have they just been quiet? We YouTubers are just plebs. What's going, Kavorka? How are you doing? Yeah, sorry. Chats fall behind and I end up accidentally ignoring them. Don't mean to do it. Especially when we're using this software. Things are kind of crazy. The RAM usage goes way up and then Chrome ends up ignoring windows that were active. Ah, get caught on my fan. I can take a cut of this. Yeah. Twitch was the issue? No, it's my memory usage of Chrome, and then Chrome will park the window, and so we don't get chat updates as a result. 160. Approximately square. Somewhat of a straight edge. That's what they call me. I ain't square. You guys are square. Jeez, come on. Stuff is a nightmare. There you go. A nice little turntable base. And a little bit of double-sided tape. That's all the way down here. You start to wonder why you have all this stuff in your possession. All these weird tapes and glues. And sometimes it dawns on you. There's a very good reason that you hoard all this stupid stuff. I just want 3 little pieces of it. Well, actually, there's four pads on this thing, so we'll just make four little pads. That's going to stick it way too hard, but whatever. Looks like your beard grew inside. Yeah, it took a big cut of my beard because it's hair. And hair doesn't come through on those fields of dot kind of things. Because that's what it does. It does time of flight using the infrared camera to see a field of little dots. And hair does not really enjoy getting scanned. Ever try the new child safety bitter dots and dye on cell batteries? Don't. Okay. I don't think I'm in any position to try to test that stuff out. I haven't even heard of that. I know Nintendo added a bittering agent to their Switch cartridges and stuff, but I've never messed with bittering dyes. I would make a dating joke about bitter guys, but I don't swing that way. All right, and then leads are over there. Let's get a good 12 volts going. This is why it's good to have power supply on your bench permanently. What did you say about me? New CR2032 set. Seen pink dots and a test for myself. Oh. You actually tasted the bittering agent on your own. Delicious. Oh, this is some prime shit. Okay, power supply connected. Let's see if we can't get a little turntable going. I knew there was a reason that I worked on this little stupid turntable. Let's see, this is at 12 volts. That's too fast. No, that's actually pretty good. Look at that. It's not quiet. Tracing dye, can even taste it today, stuck in my memory. That's how I am with 3D printing resin. It's a terrible smell. I don't know if this is going to register as a flat base. Here, let's check the scanning software. And then put the tripod back into effect. See if it doesn't freeze my computer again. Jeez. Welcome to my 3D scanning booth. Let's get the cable out of the way. Distance closer. Whoa, no, we lost connection. All right, let's see. The problem is it's going to have to be at a distance that's going to be hard for me to maintain. Because I don't have a place to put this thing. It needs to be relatively close to the desk. Flip this around. No. Nah. That's too close, right? Actually, clocking a decent distance on some of these. That might do it. One revolution of that might scan everything that I need it to, and slowly enough that it can track. I need to get it away from the desk a little bit, though. What do you guys think? You think that'll work? If the motor can keep spinning, should do okay. Lights. Turn the stand on. An enemy lighting stand. Insufficient valid scan. Why? Too close. Yeah, it's too close. Okay, so I need it to be slightly further away. I don't have a lot of stuff that can hold up this thing. I don't think the Z-axis is going to help me. I need something that I can prop the camera on that won't drop off suddenly, because the camera's too close and I don't have like an arm for it. Or do I? Wait a minute, do I have an arm? No, I don't have any extras. I have only the number that I need. No more, no less. Which means if something breaks, I'm in a panic mode. Or I just can't stream. I used to have this caution hot plate that I could sneak under stuff. But I don't think I have that anymore. A lighting stand. Oh, wait a minute. I've got a lighting stand. Lighting stand will help us. Yeah, there we go. So, now I don't think the CR10 mount is going to help, but this lighting stand should let me put this on some kind of an arm. It won't be able to view. It'll only have a flat view because I can't. Yeah, okay. Is that going to fit in here? No, it's the smaller kind of thing. All right, so we're going to have to tape it. Where's the gaffer's tape now? I'm pulling out all the stops. I'm using everything I've got. God, that thing is loud. That's what you sound like. Yeah, this thing is trying to 3D scan bother. All right, I'm just going to tape it to the lighting stand like that, and then that'll enable our scans. So, gaffer's tape. This saw blade in this cabinet is really a problem. I need to put this somewhere else. This big nasty saw blade that I have sitting in a cabinet, it's awful. Every time I try to look for a different piece of tape, I like cut myself on it. Now you go in here. And the gaffer's tape I had out with Julian. There it is. This is why you got to put stuff back in precisely the right location, because you'll be looking for things for days. Probably don't need this much, but whatever. This is kind of cheap gaffer's tape. I don't really like it that much. The real stuff is so good, but it's so hard to find because nobody likes to pay money for things anymore. Good gaffer's tape will stick to dust. This is a terrible tape job that I'm doing, but it doesn't need to last all that long. All right, so now I can be a little further away and I can get a good angle on this thing. All right, we're just observing it right now to make sure that it stays at the appropriate distance where it gets good data. Now, a larger base for this would have been better because then it would ignore the whole thing. But if we can get enough of that geometry there, which it looks like it's getting, yeah, that's good. Now, will it be able to get the backside of the glasses? I don't think it will. But it's going nice and slow so that the camera can pick everything up. I foresee this having a pretty janky model. Yeah, I have thread coupler. I don't know if I have thread couplers to go to the really small stuff. Yeah, I had to tape it to the lighting pole with gaffers, but I guess that'll be okay. Now, will it get the backside of the lens? I think the backside of the lens is too far away. Too far away. Although it looks really clear in the IR camera. Yeah, it's just not getting it. It really looks like it should, though. I guess that's just the limitations of it. But if we get part of it scanned, I'll have enough of the geometry. So let's try to scan this once it starts really coming back around. I think right about here. Let's go. I'll try to stay out of the way. Just keep it consistent. Come on, baby. What are you doing? This is not what's going on. The accelerometer in this thing is not registering. Ah, you bastard. That didn't work at all. Maybe if we move higher up. Can't get any closer. This is the maximum closeness. Oh, and it's already ready. It's looking like it's too far. So I can move the turntable itself closer. I don't know if that's going to do it. I think we're cooked. Yeah, I love hiding razors in my drawer. Little tungsten razors. See, like right there, that looks perfect. But it's not. Oh, you guys can't see it. God damn it. All my stuff is in the way. These interfaces are just too big. Okay, why? It's not letting me move you guys again. Hold on. Frame chat. Up here. Program's a bit of a waste of space, isn't it? Oops. I have an egg timer style cell holder, good for taking 3D from within 0 to 60 minutes. I use it for photogrammetry. MUV is one of the ones. Yeah, we've tried all kinds of different ways of scanning stuff, but It's not quite, I don't know, it just doesn't really work that well. Print the IQ checkered pattern. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? If we put geometry nodes on the big sheet, I wonder if that will help scan the glasses. If it uses those geometry nodes to get its orientation. Let's see, let's try that, because this is loud. I'm going to turn this off. The turntable did not work. Maybe if I put a big sheet, like if I got all the way out to the edge here, all the way out to the camera with like a circular sheet of the stuff, that might do well for the turntable. But I think scanning on a flat plane is going to be our answer here. I'll just leave this put together. Unhook the power supply and put this back where I found it. It's too big of a turntable for its good. It's back down over here. I mean, that would be having a turntable with like the maximum scanning distance. That might not work out so well. Anyway, let's get this off of the lighting stand too. And then, of course, my chats have frozen. Everything sucks. The CR scan is taking up too much resource. Too many computers. Too much computer. Help, computer. Stop all the downloading. Okay, so now, instead of that, we are going to go and start a new project. So let me let the computer rest for a little bit by going back home on this thing. How do I get out of this? Is there no way out? Okay, new scan. Instead, we're going to use markers. I'm going to get the sheet of markers over here. I use IQ on my cell phone. You can USB adapt to your cell. Listen, we've tried a bunch of the technologies and none of them have really worked all that well. This one is a bespoke 3D scanner and it does actually pretty good when you give it the right stuff. So that's what we're working on doing. Everybody loves their own little methods doing stuff, but it's not helpful because we've already made our bed. We've made our $200 bed with the CR scan. And I've already tried a bunch of those different scanning methods. Oh, the print pattern is free? What am I supposed to do? Oh yeah, let me just run over to my printer and print out this pattern. I don't have a printer. All right, I need to refresh chat over here because you guys can't see if there's any interaction going on because chat's not updating because all the memory of my computer has been taken over by all this crap that I'm using right now. So framed chat, properties. I'm not hooked. Getting on the paper printer is a pain in the ass down here. So that should be updating now. Looks like it is. I think what I can do is put a bunch of dots down on this, and maybe that'll keep the camera's orientation. I'm not sure, but it's worth a try. And if it does track the giant plane, perhaps I can just delete it in the software. This is hitting buttons on the keyboard. Oh man, to have a different space and to have enough room to kind of spread out and do something like this on a big open table sure would be nice. I don't know if this is a thing that the tracker can do or if it's a thing I'm supposed to do with the tracker, but we're going to try it. Try to not have this resting on my keyboard and mouse because it's going to wreak havoc on OBS. Because what the tracker will look for is a constellation of these dots, and it'll get its orientation that way. What are you on about? What are you talking about? This is easier than me finding the printer and hooking up to it. Now, in the past, I have used the printer in order to plan stuff out, like getting hole orientations on computer builds and stuff. Print it out, and then you spray it with some adhesive and put it down on top of the substrate. And then you've got all of your hole locations as dictated by CAD. That's always nice to do, but again, that was on my own time and not while I'm streaming. And if this works, I've got a base for scanning stuff. I could just go grab the sheet and put whatever I want to scan on top. Or we will have learned a lesson at the expense of several dozen stickers. Not the first time, not the last. That looks sufficiently random and covered. I think I want to put one more like in this area. Maybe get one like here. Maybe one over here. Oh, it looks way too... I've done a crosshatch without... Oh my god, throw in some randomness. Ah. Does that look a little bit like less of a... There we go. Okay. That's a little better, right? Hopefully. Let's check. Let's see what happens. I'm not gonna do your like... Shush. I know you have software that you think works really great. Jeez. You think this should be plenty? Let's give it a shot. Let's see. Let's see. So our settings are marker, small, normal object, high quality, disabled flat base, yes, but that's where the markers are, so that'll be an interesting thing. And then hit scan. We'll just see if that... Whoa. Might actually work a lot better. Although it is using the markers, everything is in red. Insufficient markers I keep getting. So I think I want the density of the markers to be a little bit more. Okay, so there's a piece of data. I want this thing to be dense with markers. Start just like doubling them up, because it needs to have 4 markers visible in order to track. So we'll just get crazy with it. I don't know if it's deleting the plane, but it is definitely registering the markers, and it's a little bit more stable as a result. Oops, that one came with the backing. Stickers, stickers, stickers. This has been somewhat illuminating. Because it is supposed to be random patterns of stickers that it keys into in order to figure out where you're looking at everything. So I'm upping the density. And hopefully not following a grid like I did before. There, that's a bunch more. We'll put even more than I think I need to. Hopefully that'll retain our tracking better. Because I don't have to throw this whole thing out when I'm done. If you're doing like a physical object, like if I was scanning like a body panel on my car, using these stickers would mean that I need to then get all the stickers off and throw them out. And with this, I just have this now. Even though I used up a whole sheet of these little stickers. They're not expensive. All right, let's see. Looky, looky. Nice and stable. Yes. And it's able to find tracking a lot better too. And it looks like it's still deleting the flat plane. That's interesting. So I am able to have a plane of markers to retain the orientation of everything. Pretty cool. Okay, so are we ready to actually start scanning? Getting around this thing fully is the annoying part. And then getting my computer to not freeze up is another annoying part. It looks very broken in what it's able to actually ascertain, but if I can get the bridge of the nose in, things should be pretty good. Too close. Back it up. Back it up. I told it was a small object. It's very selective about its view area. All right, so that's going to be annoying, but it should be manageable. And let's hope it doesn't crash my computer again. Should I flip this upside down or get rid of the tripod so that I can get lower? Boy, that's tough. I got to be really far away to scan these properly. And would having this light on help it a little bit? Lights. Stand. It looks like it's a little bit more stable with light. One pass lower, mid, and top, one direct top use. I don't know what that means. What's up, Copper? How you doing? Okay. Yeah, a little bit of tracking loss, a little bit of insufficient. Age? Is there something in the water? Am I dumb? People are like saying weird stuff in my chat. I don't understand it. Maybe it's just me. I'm not like giving chat sufficient bother brain space to understand what's going on. Oh, see, I can't see that message. Let it scan an object in from bottom, mid, top, and from direct down view to get a decent recording. It captures over time. I guess I can reorient the object and try to recapture, and it should retool itself for the best fit match of what it's seeing. Well, let's just give it a shot. Tracking gets all weird when I reposition myself. Come on, man. Careful now. Thing is, like, maybe I could just utilize a broken scan. You know, something that we deem is not good enough. And just use that. The markers certainly help it be stable. Oh God, okay, that's gonna mess with it. Sorry. Yeah, the markers really help. Oh, I'm having trouble with the cable. Oh God, the lighting's gonna change. You got this. I gotta look over my shoulder now. It's getting difficult to position this properly. I just want to get the back of this lens here. Come on. Okay, I think that's it. I think we got a good scan. Whew. I don't know about the geometry of the nose bridge, though. Yeah, it's all screwed up. It's close. I mean, I think it's close enough. Like if I use this side, because this side looks like it got through okay. The problem is when I turn it into vectors, it's going to screw everything up. Yeah, it's going to squish the glasses down and do weird stuff. This is enough to go by, I think. Oops. Maybe. This could be a lot cleaner. Although I could also just use this to get the sphere size correct. You know, the thickness and everything being what it is. Those are touching the ground, so you don't get quite the good scan of it. Let's see what it looks like when well, actually, let's get more points on it. What happens if I flip it upside down and start scanning again? Oh, it hates it. It hates it. It hates it. Yep. Okay. So when you establish the dot field, it keeps those dots in mind and it looks for that pattern again. And while it is able to find the pattern again, the object is now moved. And so it's not going to reorient the object. It seemed like it should have been able to do that. Nope, can't do it. How well fractalized angle pattern would help compared to randomized dots. This thing looks for randomized dots. You can see the picture of the dots were in the 3D field. So I don't think it uses a fractalized pattern of any kind. I'm not sure the CR scan software can do that. That's what Kavorka was saying to do, was go to a printer, print out a fractalized design, and use that with the software they wanted me to use, which I'm not going to do. I got a year older recently. Aha. So this is janky, but we might be able to actually utilize it. Although this is going to be something I'm going to have to check over with calipers, whether the one on the right or the one on the left is the actual pattern of that part. So I wonder if maybe I can do a scan with the glasses down against the table. We won't get this stuff very well, the tops of this. No, I'm not trying software. We have what I'm doing. This is what we're using. Fuck's sake. All right, so I'm gonna save this one, but I'm gonna go home, close the project. Yes, we still have the project there. We're gonna try another method. gbot glass bottom. Have you tried using Linux? You could use Linux. You should try using Linux. Have you tried using Linux? Try using Linux, bother. Try using Linux. All right, glass is upside down on the point field so that we can get our orientation properly. Who in the right mind would try or download random software? We've done that before. We have done that. I have done that. I've done that. I've done that. I've done that. I have done that. I have done that. I've done that. I've done the thing where chat recommends software to try 3D scanning something, and I try it, and it's ass. We've done that. Let's hit the scan button. Boop. Yeah, it just has trouble with that. I think maybe what's happening is the infrared dots are illuminating this thing weird because it's just a matte spray over top of it. I maybe would get a cleaner scan if I put painter's tape over top. Because yeah, it's the geometry of that nose bridge is just befuddling the scanner. I think it's a case where like a laser beam hits the edge of a piece of plexiglass and then that causes it to scatter weird. So let's do painter's tape. Get me out of here. Stop this. How do I stop this? Stop it. Stop using up all my resources. I'll just close the whole program because we've got taping to do. Yeah, the foot spray is good, but it's not great. The foot spray gave us a matte surface that we were able to scan, but it's having a lot of trouble with this. And I think the reasoning behind that is that, for instance, if I get a laser beam, do I have a laser beam? I told Julian I didn't know where it was, and that wasn't a lie. I have a green laser that I have somewhere around here. Not the one that Julian can burn his pants with. That's the one he was looking for. But the burning pants laser came apart and became burn the subs. I have that green light. Oh, it's in the top drawer. That's right. I put it because it's one of my tools. That one's a black light. This one's an infrared light. And then lasers over here. That's a regular light. Wait a minute. I got 3 different frequencies of light here. None of them are what I'm looking for. None of you. What about this drawer? I'm just looking at my drawer thing right now, seeing if I've got, there it is. There she blows. Green laser. So green laser, it's a frequency that we are sensitive to as human beings. So it's a good example of what is happening with the infrared light. However, what's happening with the infrared light is happening in infrared frequencies. So it's a little different, but it's not that much different. So what happens with the glasses is we've got our light. Let's get a little closer here. So even in spite of the fact that I put foot spray all over this thing, and the fact that the foot spray is not called foot spray, it's just called no sweaty spray, the infrared light that hits it is going crazy. If it hits the edge, it will internally reflect a little bit. And I think that's what's giving us the inconsistency with sort of the edge illumination here. Because I didn't really concentrate the spray on the edge. So I think what I need to do is use tape. And if I use tape, then I think it'll still have the hard boundary that the glasses have. But before I use tape, I need to get all this powder off of my lenses. So I'm gonna go jump over to the bathroom and I'm going to wash my foot glasses. And I'll give you guys a BRB. Where is that? Setup. That starts soon. So overlay. Oh, I don't think this one works. Yeah, I need to fix these still. Man, I gotta fix my streaming setup. BRB. It's broken. It's broken because it's in a totally different scene. So I need to actually go to studio mode, and I need to go to overlay, and I need to go to BRB2. Burb 2, which is my animated BRB. Why don't they make Catnip Linux? These and other questions that haunt the mind can be found on my stream. Here's some music for the non-YouTubers, and I will be back in just a second. I am going to wash this thing off. All right, I'm back. Fade the music away. Go away, bonk. Okay, so, yeah, the foot spray didn't work all that well. I mean, it kind of did its job, but for something that is clear, I think it's, well, okay, so how do I say this? For the clear lenses, it's not giving us a very good line. I guess in the context of the stuff that I do, the sizes of things, the scanner does not really lend itself to that very well. So what I'm going to do is try to give it all the advantage in the world, and we're going to get painter's tape, and we're going to put it out over these lenses. And I think the edges still have foot powder on them. You got to kind of like actually work the foot powder off. You have to like brush it off because it is designed to prevent moisture. And as such, washing it off is fairly difficult. Yeah, Linux is open source, so when you ask, why isn't there XYZ Linux? Black marker is shiny. It's too shiny. I tried hairspray, sprayed from a distance, letting it clump in the air, but I don't have a feeling it would perform any better, I think, than Halloween hairspray can be good. Yeah, I mean, the foot powder is cheap and it works well for making something matte. I think for this specific application, though, it's not exactly correct. It's not what we need. We could make do with it, though. We could certainly make do with it. Yeah, washing off hairspray is probably easier than the foot powder, although... Are those Z38? These are ballistically rated. So these are in fact going to be my shooting glasses. If I was slightly higher budgeted, all of the components of this thing are cheap. So I could get new lenses if I wanted to, and I could just sand these and then scan them, because they're not that expensive, the clear ones anyway. When you get into the special coatings, they get expensive, but this whole thing is very modular. So what we're trying to do is fit these to my big fat nose. because the bridge piece, albeit modular, they don't make one for people with giant schnozzes. So my, big schnoz is too far away from where these things want to seat. So I figure what I can do is I can recycle the rubber piece, and I can redesign this to be slightly wider. By that I mean much wider. I can have this piece kind of bend out and sort of meet my face where it should. And so I have the Creality CR scan. All these people jumping into my chat and telling me that I should be using some kind of photogrammetry thing with a weird base and blah, 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 blah. Just know, I have used a lot of these softwares, and a lot of them are not where I think they should be. And so we bought this as sort of the culmination of trying a bunch of this stuff already. So we have some new techniques, we have some old techniques, we have some stuff that I've tried, some stuff that I am trying, but I am not open for suggestions. I'm just not, because we've tried it, we did it. I have the PlayStation Eye with the laser attached to it, and it all just doesn't work right. So I'm gonna use my blower fan thing. This was sent in by a viewer which just put on the gift card anonymous. So thank you for sending this. This thing is very useful, especially when you need high pressure air to dry stuff off. Awesome. The thing works really well for that purpose. Now there's some foot spray in places that I can't get to. That's why we always brush our teeth. Techwin Dragon. Hey, Techwin Dragon, thank you so much for subbing. How many months was it? Is that already 13 months? Dang. How's it going? Oh, good morning from New Zealand. Wait, good morning. Aren't you guys like 6 hours? No, you're way beyond that, right? Ugh. I'm an American. I don't have to know geography. Basic geography. It's 7 a.m. Holy shit. So what is that offset? So, oh my God, that's 16 hours ish. Oh, 12. Wait, but it's 3. Oh, because we're UTC 5 or whatever on the East Coast, right? 3, 2. I don't know things. It's okay. Yeah, these have this little locking system for the safety glasses. These are American made. Made in America. And they're modestly cheap. They're not super expensive. If you become any larger, you might become geography. Is that a fat joke? I don't have the zip code quite yet, but they are thinking about it. I do need to lose a lot of weight. Getting these things snapped in I just learned is a challenge. Do I need to do it all at once, or this twists a little bit? Yeah, that has to twist a little bit so that it fits in there. I need to get this catch over here. What the fuck is a kilometer? I don't know what you're talking about. Wait, why did Copper's... No. Oh, that was Copper's subscribe message. Imagine using kilometers. Copper, thank you for 19 months. That's mighty kind of you. 07-2024 CF10CE. I think that's the certification on the edge of the lens. There's a little bit of text. I hear a CRT. Well, like the whine from a monitor? All right, there's probably a trick to this that I don't know. Can we get this one to unseat? Like the first one is free. It's easy to do. Second one, not so easy. That was the biggest lie that was told to us by media in the 90s, is that the first one would be free. Bitch, nobody is giving out drugs for free. I keep asking. Come on, man. Come on. Go to your hole. There we go. Okay, a little bit of lens massaging. They kind of rely on the fact that this whole business is flexible plastic, but I got everything seated into its hole. Oh, that's a little squeaky right there. All right. So now I am just going to put painter's tape on the lens. Should come up clean, unless I leave it there for a long time. If you're fat enough, you can have your own zip code. Not quite. Convince someone in the house to let me use their Prime for Twitch. Hell yeah. Oh, trying to find the country that encodes GPS coordinates on their zip codes. Designed so that if you move your mailbox, you need to update the zip code. Doesn't England do... Oh, they don't do zip code. That's, I think Australia does it by zip code. I remember watching something about that. With the American system, it's, what's his name? GCP Grey did a video on this. So if you find that video, you can find that locale. Yeah, it was a really good video. For the American zip code, they do it by like post office, right? Okay, so let's get painter's tape. I want to use the good painter's tape. I'm going to see if I have a roll of good stuff. Because I've got the big thick reel, but that's not the good stuff. That's cheap stuff. You may have think that you typed it first, but I was well into having said GCP Grey by the time your message showed up on my screen. I said it first. I said it first. I'm smart. I'm smarter. I'm smarter. I'm smarter. I'm the smart one. I am going to impale my ass on this lighting stand. This is a dangerous thing. It is a spike that is sticking up into the air. Let's put this away before I end up tripping and falling and dying in my own shop, because that is against TOS. The lag is real. Yeah, it's very frustrating to deal with on both ends. I know for you guys, it's probably a little bit more frustrating, but it is a thing where I'll say something and then somebody will have a really good quippy remark about the thing that I said, right? Something that if we were talking face to face, we would both be laughing at your wit. But because of that delay, I get this quippy little comment that has zero context, and it's something that I said 10 seconds ago. And you guys saw with Julian, my brain moves on very quickly. So even talking to Julian, I thought I was taking crazy pills because he said something and it had zero context. And then I'm like, what do you mean? And he said, you just said this. And I'm like, did I? Human attention span, go. All right, let's put this by my lights instead of by the microphone equipment. And this little tactical light spot in my drawers. Not in my underwear. The drawers, like the drawers, like the drawers. Drawers, like these, drawers. The things that come out from the thing, drawers. Not underwear. Death is against TOS, yeah, it is. So they can avoid paying out your final month to next of kin. I don't think that's why, Copper. And I don't know if they explicitly state anywhere that it's against TOS. Sorry, I don't speak American. Drawers can be slang for underwears. I guess I could just go right straight across the whole thing. Let's go like this, because we're going to use the knife to define the boundaries of this. Now, it's just going to require some special finagling to get a smooth tape surface across a rounded object. If there are little wrinkles in the glasses themselves, I think I'm okay with it. Yeah, I'm okay with wrinkles. We just want the edges to be defined properly in our scan. I'm only going to use the knife on the edges of the plexiglass here, because I don't want to break the plexiglass. I don't want to scratch the plexiglass, you know? Yeah, I mean, I guess. I don't have much electrical tape, though. It doesn't matter if there's wrinkles, though. This is not a problem that I need solved. probably should use a new knife. It's a little sharper than this. Remember the story from back when it was just in TV as to why. Oh, really? Pants to Brits means underwear. Oh, yeah, that's right. All those little language foibles. Last thing we want here is to scratch the lens with the knife. But the knife is also very dull, but it's also still a scalpel, which is also very sharp. So even a dull scalpel is sharp enough to manipulate painter's tape. Solving non-problems is yeah, it's all chat does is suggest that I use software that I don't want to use and solve things that aren't actually problems. It's just what you guys do. I don't really care about the quote-unquote overspray of the painter's tape either. I don't mind if certain parts of the model are janky. I want this defined edge. That's what I'm going for, is all the defined edges on this to be accurate. So that's why I'm putting this opaque tape. I'm going to get a new blade. We need a new blade. A dull bother is also dangerous. Dull knives can be very dangerous, and I try to tell that, especially to my parents, who do not believe me when I say that. And then they'll go cutting onions with a paring knife as I cringe. Yeah, I'm trying to navigate the drawer full of files. There we go. Sterile. Oh, this one's sterile? I don't really care that it's sterile. All I care about is that it's a blade. Which one do we have here? Oh, this one's... I don't know if the Talon blade is going to be the... We'll try it. It might actually be pretty useful. These aren't very useful outside of like the stuff that I'm doing right now, or if you're trying to like trace a shape and do a very accurate cut. I don't, you know, for following an edge, I don't think this is going to be the best idea. It's not terrible. I'm also afraid I'm going to poke the clear part. All right, now I got to get the definition of this stuff. I wish companies like this would just provide us with a 3D model. Can you just give me a 3D model, please? It saves me a lot of effort. Oh, it looks like it peeled up over here a little. Oh, no, I got it back on. Just give me the 3D model. You know, they're not falling over themselves to make a bridge, a nose bridge for people with giant schnozzes. But it's important to me that I'm able to actually wear these things and properly be protected at the same time. I feel like I'm the only person that cares about that sort of thing. So here I am cutting masking tape on the front of these things. And I know they have 3D models. I know you guys could just lower the poly count a little bit so that maybe we don't have a total advantage, so that your own accessories are still desirable, and then just give us that 3D model and we'll be on our way. But we should be so lucky. So the overlap in the tape is a problem. It makes it hard for me to part the paper tape. Does it look like I got it properly? It doesn't. It seems like there's too much on some of these parts because it doesn't look symmetrical anymore. It doesn't look symmetrical. I guess it is. Gross, just got spam from New Jersey. Jersey's a nice place. Not for spam, but I mean, you know. Your YouTube thumbnail was a bit of a jump scare. That's the inside of my head. Oh, I don't have it open anymore. It's a view of my face from inside from the 3D scan. It's amazing. It's the coolest. I love it. All right, should I tape up the inside? I suppose so, because then I can get depth to the lens for what it's worth. I don't know about the edge of the lens, though. That might still carry... It might still capture, rather, the dots weird. That was too short of a piece. I'll just hold on to that. Yeah, the scanning is getting very annoying, and it always has been. We've never had great luck with 3D scanning devices or softwares on this channel. It's always been a bit of a pain. This is just going to wander off, isn't it? Yep. Yep, it's just going to wander off at a weird angle because this is a big sphere. At least you don't get doctor spam. My father is a doctor, and he gets all of these phone calls for people looking for like a doctor to do a particular job. Like, oh, we're hiring this particular type of doctor. And I'm like, I am not that man. Stop calling me. If you want to pay me as a doctor to do this job as a doctor without checking to see if I'm a doctor, then yeah, I'll do it. But anything for a couple bucks. You're seeing ghosts? Do cocaine at it. I'd be wearing a bird mask while I did this. There you go. I don't know if that holds up, that logic. That you can't get sued for malpractice if you were never a doctor in the first place. I think they have other things that they charge you with that are worse than malpractice. You can't take away my doctorium, my doctorate. I never had it. Doctorate? I think that's what it is. I don't think the hook is the right choice here. Let's get the hook out of here. The Talon blade. Need to find something that's sharp. That's not a Talon. That would be these over here, the non-sterile ones. And I'm not running out of these. I only have so many in the drawers, but I've got packs of them in the big toolkit. Because you can buy them by the bushel for real cheap, these scalpel blades, and they're a lot safer than an X-Acto knife, especially for hobby stuff where you're changing directions and moving around a lot. There's no twist that'll keep the blade in place. It's clipped in, so you can do all that stuff without loosening it. Recent news about a dentist that was self-taught, unqualified, but managed to perform about $180,000 worth of root canals. Oh my God. I mean, the procedure is pretty standard, although the corner cases that you wouldn't know from DIYing it concern me, like, you know, the medical stuff, all the weird stuff that doctors get trained in. What's up, Weaselbox? How you doing? We're cutting out some safety glasses, so to speak. The lenses don't 3D scan very well, and so what I'm doing is cutting them or covering them in painter's tape and then cutting out the excess, and then we're going to see how that 3D scans. Because we tried using the foot spray, and the foot spray didn't quite do what I wanted it to. The foot spray made it nice and matte, but it didn't quite give us that scannable surface that we were kind of aiming for. These are crossbow safety glasses. They're ballistically rated. They're decent. They're cheap. There's something like $50 for what I have, but they have a prescription insert, which is really important, so that I can retain my eyesight while also retaining my eyesight. I liked your video title, had to pop in. What did I set it to again? It was something about my giant schnoz, right? Scanning my giant nose to fit safety glasses. Now the glasses part. Yeah. This is part 2. Part 1, we scanned my dumb face, hence the thumbnail with my big face. So we've got the dimensions of my giant nose. And now we just need to scan the glasses so that I can modify the bridge piece. Smexy Tron safety glasses. They will look nothing better than I will look no better than a complete nerd in these things. Believe me. You don't look good in something like this, but it at least protects my eyesight. So I'll be able to use the powerful power tools as well as go shooting and stuff. I have the Joel remix of that Deltarune song stuck in my head. All right, so for benefit of not scratching this, I guess I'll cut it off here. I would be remiss if I put a scratch across my safety glasses. Although I can buy every component of this secondhand. I can, or, you know, direct. Oh, why didn't that rip? There we go. Yeah, I guess a much more expensive 3D scanner would be able to scan these pretty easily. We don't have that. We have a cheapo. It's still $200. I mean, that's not to be sneezed at. We have the cheaper option, which is the Creality scanner. And it doesn't quite lend itself to the amount of detail that I would like to have in this project, but I think we can get by with it. And so I'm trying to give it every advantage to be able to scan these properly. You're always up to something fun. I try to keep the variety up. I'm like a variety game streamer, only I do projects, which means I get flack, and especially from chat, and that really irks me when I get flack from chat on completion, like project completion. You never gonna finish Burn the Subs. No, I will. It might be a little while from now, but I will finish it, because I always get back to projects. But it kind of irks me to have people try to push a reputation on me of not getting stuff done. It also makes ones with blue lasers, or something which allegedly does better with this kind of stuff. Is it the frequency of the laser being higher? It's the same reason that Blu-ray is more dense? Allegedly does better with this kind of stuff, but it's like 3 times as expensive. Yeah, you're getting into like the $2,000 scanners. I don't care if you finish anything. I just like your streams. I must cultivate more weasel boxes. Making safety glasses for welding. No, it's for shooting at targets and then also using crazy power tools. Crazy power tools that can throw stuff up in your eyes. So I've got ballistically rated glasses here that my friend suggested. And these allow me to have a prescription insert so I can actually see what I'm supposed to be looking at. That was, it wasn't Busta Rhymes. That was Jay-Z said, I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman. Which sounds a lot better if you can say it all cool, but the bother is the business. My attitude, my style of doing things, and all the stuff that I bring that's unique to streaming that other people can't, it's all related to my personality, because you are unique. You are a unique and special snowflake, no matter anybody trying to like downplay that. And so when it comes to streaming, popular streamers are adding their personality to the media. So, yeah, it depends on where you put the commas and how you enunciate the phrase. But it's a good lesson. Myself is my business. Oh, you guys have discovered the fart buttons again. Okay, so we've got a field of patterns, and we now have matte safety glasses. Not really sure how these are supposed to help me out. I mean, I can't see shit through them. Are you guys still? I don't know. I can't read chat. But let's see if we can 3D scan these things and see if they'll actually let us put it on top of the bottle of my ugly mug that we got already. I can't. Are you guys still here? See, now the edge is much better defined, and hopefully that comes through in the scan, because this geometry right here is important to having this piece clip into it. This geometry and the curvature of it. Now, that means that some of these wrinkles are kind of in a poor spot, but we're not going to directly use this model in order to influence the shape of the piece that we're printing. We're not going to let it do that directly. We're going to have it just simply be a reference for the numerical and for the engineering style design that we are going to put into making the bridge piece. I can't earn any bothers from watching VODs, so I can't afford to fart on stream. That's okay. You will earn 2 farts by watching a full stream live. You can never be offended by chat while wearing those. Chat, I'm gonna put on the blood pressure glasses. These are the blood pressure glasses. These, you can no longer read chat with them. Copper's got the farts for you. I've got your farts covered. Is a thing totally normal people say in conversation. All right, so we're getting out of the production zone here and into the place where Bother normally sits, which means all the lighting is going to get weird, but we're out here in no man's land because I need a big flat surface. We put tracking dots down on the surface. The CR scan looks for the circular dot. And actually, if you look on the software, if you go back into the scan, it'll show the field of dots to show the pattern that it is ignoring in your actual like data. It's pretty cool, but it finds all these points and it uses that as a reference instead of using the geometry of the object as a reference. I need to start the software up. So we're gonna put these, I think, right side up. That means we might not get those corners, but everything is so much better defined now, I think we might have good luck with these. Are the dots random? Yes, they are randomly placed so that the field of dots is unique and it's able to get its orientation by seeing what the distance and the orientation of the dots are. Do they taste like Skittles? I have not tasted them. I don't plan on it. And actually, I could get banned for acknowledging YouTube chat, apparently, which is crazy because I'm detracting from the Twitch experience. I will continue to acknowledge the existence of YouTube. Let's do setup lights, stand lights, so we have that extra light there. I have it automatically turned on and off so that I'm not overwhelming the face cam with light. Stop detracting. You're detracting my experience. I'm being repressed. New project. Now I need to find another unique GLASSESSS. We're going to continue to add things to the name because it needs a new folder every time. It needs a unique folder. Damn YouTubes. Oh, whatever. I didn't vote for you. Small, marker, normal object, disable flat base, yes. Or no, don't disable flat. Disable flat base, no, means that it will detect the flat base. So I want that. And we want a high quality scan always. It just means that we need to move very slow. Let me check my wire situation. Am I able to get completely around this thing? Mostly. They mostly come at night. Yeah, I should be able to do that. Okay, let's get going on this, and I'm going to start the scan. Actually, wait, I got to make the window smaller so that you guys can see what's going on. So You guys can see what's going on. Some programs it's okay to like full screen, but this one has a lot of like the spring arm camera was blocking stuff. So scan. I assume that with the professional ones, you're able to move a lot more quickly. With the CR scan, I am forced to hold my position very steadily quite a lot of the time. So wait, this isn't disabling the flat base? Oh, hold on. So when I enable disable flat base, it gets rid of the flat base. But when I disable flat base, it allows the flat base. Oh, this light should be on this thing. The light is really just there for textures. Do 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 do. Is that going to come through? I think so. Let's skin it this way, though. Yeah, if I'm going to get that bridge, I think I'm going to have to flip these over like that. It's just not coming through clearly. It's too small of a feature, I guess. Whoa. What's up, 3D Lasers? Hey, your name is incredibly relevant to what we're doing right now. So I put painter's tape on the lenses so that we could get a nice crisp edge out of it. Doesn't appear to be giving me a nice crisp edge, though. I can see that, yeah. Scan them all the ways, then pick the best. Well, we saved one of the scans that I think I can supplement this with. Really, I want that bridge area to be accurate enough that we can design solids around it. The rest of it, I guess I could use the scan to help reverse engineer things like the bubble radius for the sphere that defines what the lenses are. I think it's a sphere. I don't think it's a more complicated geometry. It looks like it's just cut out of a sphere. All right, well, let's try it. Let's try it and see if we can get a good scan out of this. It means the top of the glasses are not going to be as well defined. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, it doesn't like to get that close to the bottom. I think we might get enough, though. I think we might. Well, what about the back side? That's a lot of data. I might actually do it. If we can retain tracking and not get a lot of like greebles, weird objects in the way, then I think I might be able to do it. Get it from the back. Huh? Do what? I mean, the inside geometry, this geometry here is going to be the more important one. Getting it from this side. That's sort of the most important, is the stuff that faces my body. It just gets real squirrely around that bridge. It really does not like scanning that. Almost want to just like take the pieces of tape and put them into like a flatbed scanner. Or take pictures from X, Y, and Z and then see if I can get like sketch lines to orient them. Huh, this is going to be difficult. This is going to be difficult. I wonder what Creality thinks I should be doing. Maybe I need to have a better computer to do this more fluidly. All right, so I guess I'm going to do my best to get a good scan of this thing. So I'm going to hit play, and then my computer is going to start eating up resources. Too close. Got to back it up. Surely you can reorient. Oh, come on. You bastard. It's like the more I move in this direction, the less it's able to actually orient itself. Look. There you go. And I can't touch the object. It's got to be in a particular location in this field of dots so that it retains its definition. I can get away with a little bit more squirrely movement with this because of the dot field interacting with stuff and giving it its locations, but gotta keep the cable out of the way. Try to go down here a little bit. Get the rest of that lens backing. This is pretty good. We might be able to use this ultimately. Oh, cable's in the way. We'll be able to delete all that, all the aberrations there. All right, I think that's it. God, this thing is real finicky about distances. Whew. All right, these go back up here. This goes over here. And this is just giving us a rough of where everything is. It will be able to smooth out the triangles a little bit, but giving us these rough dimensions that's going to really help us out. So let's take a look at what we got, if it's acceptable. I mean, it's pretty janky back here. We've got one of the bridges. The one on the side where I actually have my ear, that's not going to come through very well. That's not going to be good. But this is the more important part up here. And it's super duper janky on one side, but the other one looks okay. That's so annoying that I can't get the one thing that I wanted was this right here. This line, yoink, right there. I have half of it, so I can mirror it if I need to. I think it'll be okay. A nice quality opaque paint. You know, you can buy bespoke sprays. Yeah, I have large stuff, but it doesn't spin automatically. And I could attach the poster board to my spinning thing. You guys are parked in my butt. Get over here. Like I have stuff that spins. We were using it earlier. It doesn't find the flat plane is not large enough. Can you change the filter to be black dots and a white surface? Why? I have a Lazy Susan and battery jewelry display. See, that would be a good one. I have the means to do turntabling. I don't have enough of a flat plane to do it. My buddy did 3D scanning and the rotating helped. Can I position the scanner? Because we've got the base. I've got that. If I gave it a larger piece so that the CR scan could see multiple dots at one time. Let's just try to process this right now. I just want to see what we can get. So resolution, tiny, sensitivity. We'll turn that up. Actually, shouldn't the resolution... Well, that was on the face scan. This is different than the face scan, so we'll just try that one. Try those settings and see what happens. Record player moves too fast. It needs to move very slowly in order for the thing to keep up. I guess it uses a lot of computer resources. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing your thing because this isn't designed to use a checkerboard. I have a $200 CR scan that uses circular dots. Jeez. And it looks like it would be able to get the right resolution if it was just able to reconcile some of the stuff that it got over here. If we had the other side of this, I would be very stoked about this, but it's going to mess stuff up when it gets into here. Yeah, it's possible that if I could distance that the poster board far enough, that it would work. Do not sleep or hibernate your computer. Let's see what it processes this into. Because I can always use, like for instance, if I put a mirror image directly in the center of this thing, we can mirror the other half of it and it'll look like a complete, because these are symmetrically designed. So we can just play off of that symmetry and benefit our 3D scan. How could you increase the resolution? I have no idea. I think the resolution is down to physics. Yeah, a lot of missing stuff. It is not a complete scan, but, well, it actually looks like it cleaned up this part. That actually looks workable. I could actually work with that. Boy, I wish this camera wasn't so crazy. All right, well, I never said I was going to get something totally complete. This is enough to work with. I've got most of the geometry of this stuff in here. Well, this doesn't do close and far scans. This does a particularly set distance, so, which is kind of the frustrating part because you have to move so slowly. Mesh scaling, faces fine, smoothing 0. We don't want it to smooth anything. Let's give it a try. This is the model that I'll be working with, is whatever this thing comes up with. Yeah, this thing just doesn't have the whistles and bells. It's cheap. Cheap, cheap, cheap. Lazy Susan and a tripod. We literally tried it. Didn't work all that well. It was okay. We were using the foot spray at that point. It gives you the prompt of what your distance is from the object, and you're supposed to get it at a particular distance. That's how this thing works. You have a fixed distance that you're supposed to be scanning at. Just because, I mean, the whole dead reckoning, not dead reckoning, the whole time of flight sensing has its limitations. Yep, ding. Oh, God. Well, nah. Not happy about what it's doing over here. But we can take just this left half and we can mirror it on the... Oh, my God. It might need a little smoothing. I don't remember having caked stucco on the ends of these glasses, but I think with the model, we'll just take half of it and we'll mirror it on itself. I mean, if you want to get down to the point where you're re-engineering this thing, so the limitations on it are like, it's the same reason we don't use laser time of flight distance sensors on, what do you call it, on 3D printers. This is the look at the quality of a smooth surface that it gets. It's all over the place just because that's what it sensed. But this is enough data because we've got this nice little curvature right here where my thing needs to click in. So I am going to save this. I mean, we could look at the texture just for fun. It's going to look like ass. And if you were trying to the reason that I use this thing is that it's matching things up to the real world and telling me if my numbers are totally crazy, and it'll help inform me on what some of the geometries are that I need. here in order to get these things to click in properly. So I can figure out what like the radius of the sphere is that these things actually are, and I can use that data, or I could just put a curve on that piece and curve it a little bit to where it looks like it kind of matches up to this. Lets the computer sleep or hibernate. You know, you might walk away from a particularly long job. It's a neato burrito. I think it'll be kind of cool. But yeah, if we spent a couple more $1,000s on the 3D scanner, I'm sure I could get something that would scan stuff like this a lot nicer than this. This is just what we have. I mean, we're limited in our budget, we're limited in our scope, and I don't want to use photogrammetry programs because they make tons of e-waste. They fill up my hard drives with crap I don't want. This is taking a lot longer than I thought it would. Usually this is the quick step. Do 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 do. Just do the editing. No. What do you mean? Need a few more years of development for 3D scanners? No. But the thing is, this is pulling this object into the virtual world in scale. So I've got something that can represent this size pretty well. And I think that's the big advantage. Wow. I don't know. It's a little sus. It really pulls to question the type of cutting that I did on the painter's tape. Your cousin is a criminal. What, for putting a machine to sleep? I use sleep mode on the Linux machine because you don't want to boot up a game fully from the start. And the big Tober doesn't put pause in his games. 2025 06 27 Glassers. All right, I think that's enough data. I think we can jump over to Fusion, although we haven't even gotten to Fusion yet. Part Z of my 75-part tutorial. I've had displays stop working when trying to wake up from sleep or hibernation on Linux. Really? Is it just kind of hard on it? That's crazy. That's crazy. Look at all these textures. Whoa. I'm sorry, computer. I'm sorry for what I'm doing to you. Everything is slowing down. How big is the PNG? Oh my God. It's like a bunch of little pieces of tape. That's how you did the texture, really? So yeah, I mean, if I employed like a turntable and we really got that point field of dots correct and had that on the turntable moving slowly, I think the software probably could have reconciled where all the points that it was scanning were, and probably could have given me a much better representation of what the glasses are. I mean, if you're looking for like a cursed 3D model, like I had of my face, this thing is great. It can do a lot of cool stuff. I think as reference point geometries, we can kind of use the datums that this thing has provided us in order to get these glasses oriented on my face model properly. But first, we're gonna have to delete half of this thing and then mirror image it so that we have a semi-complete pair of glasses. I think that'll work out. Saw a video of a guy who made one of the camera 3D scanners using an IKEA stool as the base and aluminum arms connected to the stool base to allow the camera to swing around. Yeah, you can do all kinds of stuff like that. I mean, people have done that, and the photogrammetry method of getting a lot of pictures from a lot of different orientations and then having your software stitch it all back together works great. I love it. It's amazing. That's what I did. I did that. That's what I did. Okay? So stop talking about it. But anyway, I've tried it before and it kind of fills up a hard drive. The other method that I could have used is taking a picture at different orientations and pulling them into Fusion 360 and then sketching on top of all of those so that all of those different viewpoints would match up and I would have my three-dimensional lines that represent the object that I'm looking at. That's a great way to do it too. It's all very intensive and it takes a bit to get right. But it does give you really good 3D models. I wanted something that is literally just, I scanned it, let's go. So let's close up this program. Let's open up Fusion. Let's do some cursed stuff. Yeah, I exported those. So we go with that. And I start up Fusion. Foos. And we're going to start my accursed face model for for this whole thing, and we'll see if the stuff that I've already actually designed will fit in with all of that. What if you could put reading glasses on 3D scanners? You take it real close to the object. Would that work? Huh? The problem with scanning something that's clear is that the lasers are going to go weird through it. Just saw, oh yeah, that's a video of the guy. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I could make an elaborate scanning station. Have a turntable that moves with a stepper motor, and then have a like an arm that where the scanner can go up and down on kind of like a bent axis. Put it in there for like a half hour and have it do all the different orientations and stuff, but we're doing okay. What is going on with that? Wait, what just happened there? Okay, if the Twitch partners server could stop fucking pinging me, that would be great. For maybe just like a week, just not ping me. Jeez. They keep releasing stuff. They're like, front page, apply for the front page. This layout is new. I think I don't like it. Oh, so it's always gonna present me with this. But I want a new like design, not an electronics design. All right, where were we? We were not in modular synthesizers. We were in admin, stream projects. So _stream. Huh? Library, bug assault, blah, 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 split flap, stream projects. And then huge nose. And then there's the design of the bridge piece, the clip part. My latency is 30 seconds. I'm going to go smack my router. Oh my God, 30 seconds that's a crazy amount of delay. This new thing is kind of frustrating because I go back and forth between like three-dimensional stuff and electronics. If I do new design, okay, new design is just this, okay, because I appreciate the new design, because when I open up a schematic, then it can put me into electronics mode. This is a little bit weird. Oh, this thing didn't update. Okay, well now I need to open up one thing and it freezes all of my other stuff. I may have to identify the windows and tell Chrome not to park them in memory. Framed chat. Right click, properties, and then refresh the cache. That or assign a button to refresh the cache. The router has been smacked. The people responsible for the router have been sacked. Whoa, what in the... I hit Control S and it reset the entire frame. Hi, everybody, I'm your giant host. I'm melting. Wait, how do you retain? There we go. I have to hit Shift in order to retain the dimensions. Okay, there we go. I'm back. My fourth attempt to get replacement slider pots for my mixer are being delivered today. They keep sending in the wrong stuff. That's very frustrating. All right, so Control S, let's save that first and call it my dumb ass. And then we are going to pull in a mesh, and the mesh that I want to pull in is the one that we actually need to repair. It's the one of the glasses that wasn't 100% perfect. You're never going to get 100% perfect with it, but whatever. Okay, so what I would like to do is maybe go to mesh, I think, and it's insert mesh. There it is. And select from my computer. We're going to go all the way to the desk. Oh, we're right where we need to be. So first we'll go with glassers, and I'll get my glasses in here. And it's probably going to have some kind of a cursed orientation to it. But I think the scaling settings should be okay. Oh, it's going to take a while to import this, and while it's doing that, Chrome will park all of my stuff and stop the chats from working again. First 2 attempts were my fault. The first ones are too long. Second attempt, the handle for the knobs was too short. Third try, they sent the wrong part. Jeez. It really bugs me with this 3D scanning stuff when you have something like an object that has all of this symmetry that you can definitely see, and you can't take advantage of it because your 3D scan has cursed orientation. It's just completely crazy. I don't think the software that I have is suited for getting it exactly right and like figuring out what those orientations are. Oh God. This is one of the harder parts of all this. Dun, 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 dun. Well, I guess I can take a couple passes at it and it'll redo my coordinates. Actually there is a tool for doing move to ground, center. Should be the tools that I can use to do all this stuff. Get it as close as I think I need it. Oh, this is back. I need to flip them around. Well, this will be good for now. See, when do they touch the origin? Just going into this view should tell me that, but oh, I need to view the origin. That's what I need. Bonk. There we go. There's origin. So now that's on the plane. And I could use, oh no, don't flip up direction. I guess I'm gonna have to hit OK on it. Oh, the 3D model's cursed. The visuals for it are cursed. Are they grouping faces? Or are they trying to, I think it's trying to actually like assign it visuals. Wow, that's wild. Okay, well, I mean, fine, that's the glasses. We can bring in my body mesh and try to put them together as a reference. That's gonna like, the whole program is gonna hate me for that, but let's try it. So we insert another mesh. Insert mesh, where is that? Insert mesh. And I'm going to go to father's fin face. This is going to be completely cursed. Here we go. Autodesk Fusion 360, my face. It's going to take a while, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's going to take a little while. Let's get the this camera out of here. Yep. Oh, dear God, there he is. His countenance divine. And it does look like I've fallen over. I've fallen. I have to maneuver myself into position here. No, wrong axis. Yes. Let's see. Let's flip them around so that the right side is the right side, etc. Yeah, the origin and axes are all kind of cursed. I need to kind of work with it in order to get myself into position. But these are just references, so. Let's see, from here at the top. What? No. Top. There you go. And then I want to be able to see origin. Where's origin? Blocking it. Let me view it from the bottom. Get my neck hole where my neck hole is. That's pretty good. And then my face, pretty much just going off of my eyes as being the point that I want this thing to. That's pretty good. I think I'm level and flat. Let's see what this looks like. Wait, this is the back? Oh. I've set myself up. Well, I'm oriented with the sunglasses right now, so I guess they're not sunglasses, it's safety glasses. It looks close, but I think I'm listing over to the left a little bit. Straight line from eye to eye. My nose is a little bit crooked. Let's see where I'm from the right side. Yeah, I guess I'm kind of looking up a little bit. I don't think I need to angle myself downwards more. Although if I do want it to be flat from eye to this, but we can mess with the glasses themselves. So back to here. Oh yeah, let's click OK on the import. So there's my ridiculous looking face. So now we can get the glasses and move them. Move tool, move copy. There we go. Oh, it has me selecting the origin point that it's moving from. Wait, what? Why are you doing it that way? Hold on, cancel. Bodies. I've got some kind of a warning on that one. Uh-oh. There we go. This will move it as a group, I guess. Cool. It's like Cyberpunk, and the glasses just kind of emerge from my face. Rule of cool. Rule of cool. That's funny. Do these not fit on me? They must stretch when I put them on. That's funny. I wonder if I need to get a scan of me wearing them. Because they clip into my body. Weird. Yeah, they must distort when I put them on. Now we mod it to include it in Cyberpunk. All my scans are too crappy for that. All right, so it looks like I need to scan them, but have something that will spread them out, which is, you know, the process of them hugging my face is the plastic distorting in order to put them on. So we're still working with this hardware. I need to possibly put something on it in order to make them spread out enough to be on my face, and then we can kind of figure out how to make up for the very tiny gap that we have to work with. Should be a little bit like that. I mean, they do cover all of the zones that they would have to cover in order to keep your eyes safe. Yeah, see, they're both clipping into my body because this would hug my face. That's funny. This is crazy. Just the ability to do this. Oh, yeah. I said no pickles on my sandwich. You're gonna get that right. Modding bother for the cyberpunk future. What up, chooms? That's a pretty good thumbnail, though. And then the part that I designed, this thing. Let's save this. Control S. I mean, this is enough data. I could actually probably do what I want to do off of that. That, I think, is enough data. It's insane, but it's enough that I can kind of shape what I need to build and get a good reference. This looks so dumb. This is the better angle. This is where it didn't totally ruin my beard. I need to not show the rest of the scan. The rest of the scan is just insane. It went crazy because I had to hand scan myself, and so my shoulders were in a different orientation. A 3D printed head with red LED eyes. I don't have enough data for that. I mean, look, you got like... The accursed bother. Rule of cool, my friend. Rule of cool. Anyway, yeah, so I guess we can work on this in the near future. I can try to design a symmetrical solid that's going to fit inside of that bridge piece, and then we can modify it based on these scans in order to hold the glasses approximately in this location. This will also give me a way to test out informed, whatever it is, dimensions on this, because these look like they were built off of a sphere. I believe that I can define them as a sphere with a particular radius, and then that'll create that curvature that I want to follow. Otherwise, I can just design the 3D part and then try to kind of match it in, because this is what I was working on privately. Oh, where are my extrusions? Oh, my computer must have restarted. Ah, that sucks. I lost some work on this. These weren't supposed to be undefined. They actually had a definition to them, and then I built the curves up, and then I guess overnight my computer restarted and I lost all this work. I wonder if there's a recovery document on the other PC. There probably is. I'll have to open this on the other PC and see if I can recover my work, because it should have auto-saved at some point before it reset. But that was the part that holds on to the eyeglass thing. Oh, that's a little creepy. You can see my eye in there. I can see you. Did they apply textures to this? I think they did. They're just washed out. Huh. What it's like to be inside the head of Obother. Yoink. It is kind of creepy, though, having my giant face in statue form. My cheeks are puffy. I need to lose weight. All right. Anyway, I think that's all I got for today. Willow's freaking out at the door, so I'm going to take her for a walk. And then in the near future, we can figure out how to get the nose piece of these things properly situated so that it sits on my face and doesn't look totally ridiculous. This is pretty ridiculous, but it won't look totally ridiculous. Another reason to build a scan station. I mean, you know, this is enough data for us to use. We can live within the imperfections that we've got. And I'm not falling over myself trying to get scans of my body to the people who would manipulate it in weird, creepy ways. I'm just trying to make these things fit my face. That's all I'm trying to do. Pretty cool, though, that all this technology that we have available to us enabling something as stupid as this is. All right. That said, I am going to go trudge out into the rain. Yeah, no more Minecraft. Was that a ghast? Is that what you did? I thought you just put me on one of the texture blocks, but it was such a dark picture I can't really see. It looks like a rocker bust. Oh, bother. Bassist for the Flaming Cheetos. I don't know. In 3 dimensions on Pink Floyd's The Wall laser show at the planetarium. One of the entities, one of the block textures is pretty funny. Bother Cube was pretty funny. It was just a little dark and hard to see, though. Yeah, so do we have enough room to make a bridge for my nose? I think we do. It's this part of my nose that's the problem, this big piece right here. So, I mean, the bridge starts here and goes up and around, and then we'll have to figure out what stuff needs to go in there so that the rubber can hold the glasses up on my face. No, I'm not going to do a TPU print. I mean, that would probably be kind of a good thing to do. I could do a soft print, but I'm not good with printing those. I'm going to use the ultraviolet printer, and then I'll create like a perfect part. We can also correct some of the stuff that they did with these glasses where they didn't follow the inner curve. They only followed the outer curve of the lenses. Look at this. So this here follows the outer curve, but not the inner curve. It's a straight line, which makes these a little bit wobbly when they go on. They kind of pinch the lens down here and up here, whereas if it followed the curve, it could put just a little bit of pressure on the inside and outside of the glass, and then it would fit perfectly and not move. And then these, for holding the glasses, are not curved. It's not bent in any way, so I don't know if I want to correct that. This is the geometry that I've sort of recreated in CAD. And then when it got to this part, it was like, well, it's got a big curve on it. I don't know what the radius of that is. And then I can't really see those pieces inside, the little cut-ins. I don't know where to measure that off of. And I figured, you know what? I got a Creality scanner. I can use the scanner in order to pull my dumbass into my own CAD files, and then I can design around the actual idiot in the room instead of just making sort of a guesstimate as to their geometry. TPU or similar and ABS made some unusual plastic that raised its melting temperature, plugging my nozzle. Aren't there like cleaner filaments that you could put in? I was sent, when I first started with PETG, I got, with the PETG, I got like this little spool of cleaning. It was like just like a little cut of cleaning filament that you would put through the printer. I've never heard of that before, though. I've never done anything like that. I'm gonna look so cool. The problem is these things changed their shape to fit my face. It doesn't feel like they did, though. Like, it does not feel like they're distorting in order to fit my face, but I guess I can feel a little bit of pressure from the two arms, so I guess it bends. Yeah, so the glasses themselves don't bend. The arms of them bend on these little thin sections right here. So this is where it would bend and then go out to fit into my ear, onto my ear. Blue flame is the only thing that works. Oh, on the what is it? Alloy of plastic. Crazy. Do 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 do. These still look pretty ridiculous, don't they? Although my fat face does line up to the geometry pretty well. I wonder if I should get the gasket kit so that it fits snug. It looks cool. Nah. I don't know. These could twist to the right a little bit. Problem is I don't have exactly that control. Do 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 do. Doot 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 doot. I guess that's good. Good enough. None of it's very precise. Nozzle ends are dirt cheap. 0.04 millimeter cleaning wire. The only problem is you got to be sure the The cleaning wire is going to be hot when it gets out of that nozzle. I hate cleaning wires for that reason. I've gotten so many burns from cleaning wire on the soldering iron. Temp melt out by text editing G code set to 300 plus. Ugh. I don't, that sounds risky. What do I run my nozzle at? I don't even remember anymore. I think it's like 220 or something. Just the floating bits of the glasses. Yeah, I mean, it's also that the scan wasn't totally even. Even though the glasses are really, really symmetric, the scan is like kind of weird around these edges for some reason. It doesn't like these edges. They were stitched back together. And I guess the fact that they were cut plexiglass makes them a little weird. 242 PETG. I think that's about what I run, yeah. I run my PETG very hot. And it works out in the end. This is just bizarre to me. This is bizarre. But we can work with this. This is enough data that we can put together the part that I want to print, and then I'll be able to actually wear these safety glasses without them sitting 5 feet above my head. All right, so that's it for me. I'm done. Whoa, okay. I guess I hit back and it set my camera different. You know, we got a little bit of 3D scanning done. We discovered that you could put dots on a plane and then have CR scan ignore the plane. So if I've got some like larger object that I'm trying to design something that I'm 3D printing with, I could get the sort of the rough dimensions of the stuff so that maybe it'll save me a little bit of iteration using meshes and positioning in Fusion. The thing about Fusion is, though, is that it's an engineering program. It's not like Blender where you're kind of sculpting things. It's an engineering program. It wants numbers. It wants exact locations. And you need to do a lot of fiddling of the model to kind of get it to whatever orientation and symmetry that you want it to be at. So we're going to struggle a little bit with that. We're going to use it as sort of a loose sort of thing. How hot do you print with PETG? That's what I was trying to remember just now. I think it's like 220, 240. It's the same numbers that I think were quoted earlier, which I got in trouble with other chatters for. They said that's too hot, but it's worked out perfectly fine for me. Most of my problems with PETG, I just turn up the temperature and it fixes them. And I use a Polymaker and it's just been fine. So yeah, and it depends on your machine. That's probably why my numbers seem to be pumped up so high. Just because it's the most of the machine is my own design. So yeah, you say 242, but you don't have somebody else's printer, right? It could report the numbers differently depending on what sensor is there and what settings they have for that sensor. It's not too hot because every batch of PETG prefers very different temperatures. That's why I get the one brand. I think $20 a spool is fine, or at least it used to be. That used to be the price. I don't know now. For the Americans, the price is going to be crazy because everything sucks for us. So anyway, I'm not going to, we don't need to discuss temperatures too much. The question was, what do you set it at? Everybody's put their numbers down. It's like 240-ish, and you'll have to play with it from there because every maker is going to have a different plastic and every batch is going to be slightly different. You'll eventually figure out what works. Also, if your printer has a feature to print a temperature tower, it's very useful with PETG because with PETG, you're going to get this gradient from matte to fully glossy. And the glossier stuff is going to seal a little bit better because it's a little bit more melty when it goes together, but it might also betray some of the finer geometries that you have to print. So you can choose something right at the right glossiness level that you want out of that plastic. It's pretty cool. All right, anyway, here's the end card that did I update it? I think I did. Hold on a second, let me just double check on that. I gotta go to Discord. All the way down to, Copper got a screenshot of me putting on the blued glasses. How blued. No, I did not update. Okay, let's get that. Edit com. So I'm going on tomorrow. We're gonna continue to work on this. So that's going to bring us to the 28th of June. There we go. Now I can do the end command and it'll be accurate. I don't even know P card, let alone an N card. I call this the end card. It's not really a card. It's just the block of text that gives you guys my social media. My Blue Sky is still hacked. I don't know what to do about that, so I'm not on Blue Sky anymore. I used to have I was on this whole list of makers, and people could one-click subscribe to all the makers. I had like 300 followers, and then some asshole hacked my account. I don't know if I had two-factor authentication on or not. I probably didn't, but then they hacked my freaking account and got it banned. So I don't have Blue Sky. It was mostly pictures of Willow and occasional pictures of the extracurricular project stuff that I do around here. But maybe one day it'll come back. My Reddit account came back as a full year of my Reddit account being completely disabled. And then I guess somebody got my email and they said, oh, he got hacked. Let's reset the password. And so I was able to get the Reddit account to work again. And then I had to throw a bunch of porn subreddits out because whoever had hacked the account probably had a bot, register some activity. Utterly ridiculous. But anyway, we'll get back to this project. We'll be doing a little bit more shaping and 3D modeling on it. We got about 20 hours and 15 minutes, and I'll catch you then. Until then, be something smart that's interesting that I say at the end, and you guys go, oh, that was a nice little send-off.